high and dry. I think it's disgusting. And honestly, I'm insulted by it. Because they told so many of you that you guys were going to be so severely impacted by this election and then just abandoned you. How is that fair to you? So I'm upset for you that they told you that the world was ending if someone got elected, and then that person got elected, and then they fucking ignored you and went quiet. I mean, that's pretty disturbing. I'm much more disturbed. Here's my immediate concerns. People keep asking me, what's your immediate concerns? Right? Did I receive an email? I don't care about the Harris campaign anymore. I'm sorry to tell you. I just don't. Like, I don't have any interest in hearing from them. So no, I didn't. I don't want anything to do with them. So I'm furious at Democrats right now. I haven't even expressed to you guys how pissed off I am at them right now. They can all go to hell. All of them. This guy says, I wouldn't bet on this guy's low knowledge information. Low knowledge information. His name is Number One Republican, and click the PFP. Looks like he would be on the show Cops. No joke. Number One Republican, can you get in the box? I swear to God, I've seen you on Cops before, but that's besides the point. Can you get in the box there, Number One Republican? Number One Republican, can you get in the guest box? I want to know how much you know. I want you to teach me. Come teach me. Possible they're cooking something up? No. Are Democrats suddenly strategic geniuses when they just literally gave the worst strategy on the fucking history of political campaigns? Like, now Democrats are suddenly like these strategic geniuses. Democrats are pathetic. Okay. And they don't know what the fuck they're doing. And the best thing they can do is get out of the way. This guy said, if I get in the box, you'll embarrass yourself. Then get in the box right now. If you beat me in a debate, I'll delete my account. Get in the guest box right now. If you beat me in a debate, I'll delete my account and give you $100. Come in the guest box right now. Come in the guest box right now, Muppet. Number One Republican. Do you guys think he's a smart guy? I'm willing to bet he's not. Do you think World War III will happen? Because I'm genuinely scared. Alma, I do not. So I think it's not likely. I really do think Trump lied to us. Well, Michael, you're a goofball and you voted for him. I tried telling you, so I don't know what else to tell you. Too late. Yeah, he's scared to get in the guest box because he knows. They're all geniuses from the chat. He's such a political genius. That's why he's him. It's giving, by the way, it's giving 1980s, is it not? It's giving like dive bar. It's giving playing pool for $5 a game. It's giving Levi jeans. It's giving let's go get a pitcher. It's giving let's play darts when everyone wants to go home. It's giving cigarettes. It's giving Camaro. It's giving fucking, yeah. It's giving let me play guitar in my basement and then my wife comes down and complains that it's too loud. It's giving, that kind of a feeling. You know what I mean? No, my hair's only down because I couldn't find a tie today, but I actually really want to cut my hair. I just have not. I haven't gone to the barber to do it. I'm not going to cut it short or anything, but I am going to cut my hair to like a normal, probably like really long the top, Someone said Camaro. Yeah, I said Camaro, Seb. Not someone, that was me. No, I'm not braiding it. It's giving, let's hang out in the basement. It's giving, yeah. It's giving darts. It's giving let's play pool. It's giving, yeah. That's what it's giving. You're offended? Good. That's what I was going for. But yet you're a Republican on a backup account that I've already blocked multiple times. Stop coming in my fucking live. How about that? God. I blocked that person 7 times, bro. That's wild. That's wild. It's giving, yeah, I'm going to restart soon, probably, yeah. It's giving darts. That's what it's giving. It's giving $5 for this game of pool. Leave my hair alone. No, I am going to cut it. I'm not going to cut it all the way, though. I don't know. We'll see. They do have a crush, yeah. This guy said blocking is so powerful. No, but the point is when you block someone, they're not supposed to watch you anymore. Like, it's very creepy when someone doesn't want you to watch them and they still watch you. This guy just doesn't get it. Like, can you get in the guest box, sir? It's giving, like, does MMA on Wednesdays at the local gym, but is not good at it. It's giving loves Dana White. It's giving Joe Rogan. It's giving, yeah, that's what it's giving. No, I'm on a stupid algorithm right now. I'm going to have to restart to try to
stimulate your account.
What?
I thought you said you were going to delete your account.
When did I say that?
You said if Donald Trump wins the election, you're going to delete your account, buddy.
Yeah, I never said that. Nice try, though. Show me the clip.
Okay, well, someone probably has it.
Yeah, that never happened. And your name is Trump Gospel. Fucking enough said. Your name is Trump Gospel.
What does it have any? You going to cry about it?
Oh, God, we're so fucked, man.
You going to cry?
We are so screwed. Somebody said, no. Somebody said it's giving Marlboro Miles jacket. Jules, that is the best one so far. It's giving Marlboro Miles. It's giving almost got the tent. It's giving got the jacket and almost has the tent.
What are you talking about, buddy?
It's giving collects them from all their friends.
Buddy, what are you talking about?
It's giving an ashtray. It's giving, why does this car, it's giving complaints about modern cars not having cigarette lighters.
Listen, bud.
It's giving.
You don't know nothing up here.
It's giving yellow windshield.
So you're the one who didn't vote for Trump. He's the one who's already made peace with Zelensky and Putin. So you don't know what you're ever talking about. You talk about war. You talk about peace.
He made peace?
Zelensky is the one who already said that they're going to solve the war with Trump, bud.
Wow, that's profound. How are they going to do that?
Trump's already said he's going to sit both of them down. He's going to tell them both they can't keep doing this. It's killing people.
That's profound. And so they're going to sit them down and they're going to say, you can't do this anymore.
Well, Trump's already known to do that. And Zelensky even said that it's going to work out with Trump, and Trump is.
Yeah, that's fucking...
Zelensky said it himself. Do you know who Zelensky is?
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, that's crazy, dude. That's amazing. Awesome.
Do you know, what would Camilla do? Huh?
Anyway, you're boring. Okay?
You're more boring.
Do you guys think I should restart? I think I'm going to. I'm going to restart. I'll be right back. I'm going to try and see if I can get some stimulating conversation here. Yeah, I'm going to. Well, let's see what this guy is first. Hold on. What's up? Of course, his fucking internet sucks.
I don't know why you got me on here.
What's up?
You sent me a... I'm behind you.
Huh?
I'm on your side. So
Okay.
I didn't think you wanted your side supporters, these fucking Trump idiots. I'm 7 years old. I run into them every day. I'll fucking knock the shit out of all of them. That's a guarantee. You could bet your money on that. I'm 70 fucking years old. My hands haven't failed me once in my life. And I'm telling you, if you ever come to New York, I'll tell you where to go. I got people who will tell you that. I got a police department who will tell you that because I'm on their side too when they're in the right. So these stupid fucks, I deal with them every day. I got to a point where, you know what? I'm the idiot because every time I deal with them, I'm insulting my intelligence. The best thing is not even to answer them. They're a bunch, and listen.
This guy said he wants to meet you.
I have nothing against Republicans, Democrats, Independent, nothing against them. I have something against Trump supporters. People think 80 million people voted. No, people vote fucking parties, you dumb fucking assholes.
Shut up, Philip, you loser.
Fuck up, you asshole.
Yo, I'm going to be in New York City next month. Tell me where to meet you and I'll beat your fucking ass on live.
How old are you?
Don't worry about how old I am. I will fucking wreck you.
No, you have to say his age. You have to say your age.
16? No,
all right.
I just want to know because I want to know is when you're 20, 16, 30 years old, when you get embarrassed on a New York City street by a 70-year-old fucking guy. Matter of fact,
shit.
Philip, send me your info, and if you'll go live, I will beat your fucking ass on live.
Oh, shit.
I'll tell you what. When you come to New York,
oh shit.
Tell me, Philip, with your cool cutoff on, Philip.
When you come to New York City, you dumb fuck, you can come to my studio and I'll have you watch with my students, you stupid fuck. You can.
Okay, cool. Where's your studio? Tell me your studio.
I don't know anything about
your studio, tough guy.
We can meet
you
on
fucking pussy. Tell me your studio.
I'll take you there. We'll meet.
Guys, use appropriate TikTok language, please.
Oh, I'm sorry. You know what?
I mean, you can yell and stuff, but you just watch the words you use.
These stupid Trump. You know what?
Can we say homo on here because he sounds like a homo?
Hey, Trump's got balls.
That's oh my god! All right, goodbye.
Trump has never been in a fight. He's never played a sport in his life, but he's a tough guy. I will knock Trump out with one finger. Biden would have knocked him out in his when he was younger.
Philip, thank you for coming on, Philip.
Yeah, thanks. I'm sorry about all that.
No problem, Phil. Take care. Sorry, I wanted to be a little messy for a second. You know what I'm saying?
Man, he just said he could beat up Donald Trump. He beat up Trump.
That wouldn't, dude. He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything about Trump. Trump is a president-elect. He didn't say anything about Trump himself.
Oh man, I thought he was disrespecting Trump, man. You don't disrespect him. You don't get away with disrespecting him, man.
You're bad at this.
Who?
You.
You're mad? You're mad? And it is what it is. Trump loves you. He loves all, man. And at the end of the day, he's going to be the one that saves us when that time comes. And you can live in this false reality, but I'm here to tell you Trump loves one. He loves all. And that's it, man. You can go on here, get me off here. You're disrespecting Trump this early in the morning. You should be ashamed of yourself.
I have these moments where I just think about a little island, like a beach island kind of place, like in the middle of nowhere. The water is really blue. You put your feet you put your hands under the deck chair and the sand is a little cold because it's in the shade. Dig your feet down into the sand as the waves creep up to the edge of your toes. You lean back in your chair as a breeze comes over your body. Smell the salt. There's a person behind you on the boardwalk making taffy. Hear kids screaming and laughing. Another huge wave comes crashing down. Peace. Robert, what's going on? Robert, you're in the guest box. It automatically puts anyone who supports Trump in the guest box, Robert. Robert, you can't leave without talking, dude. You have to say what's up, and then you can leave. Otherwise, I live in your phone for eternity and tell people about your deepest, darkest secrets.
Oh, I apologize.
Yeah, don't do that. I will tell everyone about your deepest, darkest secrets. I will live in your phone for eternity. I'm serious. Now, just tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm not a Trump supporter. I had your phone in my pocket listening to it, and it must have pushed it on there.
I know, but you're not following me.
Okay.
So I assumed you were a Trump supporter. Trump supporters refuse to hit the follow button. They watch me every day, but they won't hit the follow button. They're like, I refuse to hit the follow button, man.
I'm not a Trump supporter. No. I was listening to you for inspiration.
All right. Well, make sure you follow, Robert. That would be the first step.
Okay.
Take care, buddy. Appreciate the support. Yeah, Republicans do that all the time. They basically...
What are you talking about? I followed. What are you talking about?
Yeah, but most Republicans will not follow. They'll watch every day, but they won't follow me because they feel like that will make it a win for me. Like as if it makes a fucking difference.
You're entertaining.
Like as if it makes a difference in thousands of followers. Like it makes a difference that 20 people don't.
Hey, Adam.
Go ahead.
You were laughing. You were smiling when the two guys were arguing, right?
Yeah. It was funny. It was funny. Why?
Starting shit, aren't you?
No, I just thought it was funny. It was funny.
Yeah, I want to see it. I was going to tell Scott to go eat a calzone and shut the fuck up.
No, that guy sounds like the Philip guy. I think was like has like a boxing glove. He kind of reminded me of like the guy that used to train Rocky, kind of.
Mickey.
Yeah, kind of like that, Mickey. Yeah.
Go get him, Rock. Go get him.
So it was good. Anyway, what's your take? Go ahead.
I just want to tell that dude to shut the fuck up.
Are you back to being a Trump supporter again? You guys treat
I never left. Boy.
You never left. Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I never left being a Trump supporter.
You mean when we didn't vote?
But you know why I did
I'm confusing you with someone else.
No,
I remember you were trolling saying you voted for Harris or something.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, no one believed you.
But you know why I did it though, right?
What?
You know why I did it?
No one cared. We all knew you were lying.
No, you didn't.
Dude, I literally told you were lying last time you were up here. I said, I don't believe you.
And I told you, you just...
Okay, anyway, dude. God, life must be so boring. What's up?
Nothing. I just called to say hello.
Huh?
I was just called to say hello, and I wanted to see if I could hold your hand while you're on the beach. But you're talking about being on the beach with your foot in the sand, in the sea.
It always...
I wanted to hold your hand.
It always deduces to something like schmexual. Always. It always, no matter what the conversation is with these guys, it always ends up about something like, can I be with you? Can we do this together?
I didn't say something like that. I just said if I could hold your hand.
Yeah, because you want to hold my hand on the beach for what?
Because you were talking.
No one cares. I need to restart, guys. We're on the dumbest algorithm of all time right now, so we're absolutely going to have to restart today. We are absolutely going to have to we are on the dumbest algorithm right now. Like, holy shit. This is the one with the, like, bottom of the barrel. The bottom of the barrel, MAGA.
Adam.
Yes.
What? Why have you been on here the whole time talking about this deportation when you are the one who doesn't know how it's working? When you're the one who doesn't know how it's panned out?
No one knows how it's working.
No one knows how it's working, Adam.
No.
You don't think
that's why the ACLU had to file suit because it's very vague.
Well, I think the Donald Trump team knows how it's working.
Donald Trump, what?
The Donald Trump team knows how it's working, buddy.
Yeah, they've been vague about how they're going to execute it successfully.
Well, this is the thing. Maybe think about this. Why would they want to tell people the plan and then everyone would know about the plan?
Because there's constitutional issues
but then it would give the undocumented people time to prepare. They would know about the plan. Would you tell your enemy what your plan to attack is? No, you wouldn't, Adam.
Huh?
Would you tell
Can you speak up? I can't hear you.
Adam, would you tell your enemy what your plan of attack is, Adam?
They're not an enemy, and no. And yeah, I would warn the American people about the Constitution.
You would warn the enemy what you're going to attack them with?
The Constitution is important here.
What does that have to do with anything, Adam?
Shut up! So there had to be consideration on whether or not people's rights were going to be infringed on. I would have not voted for someone that was so vague about such a historic operation they planned on executing. If you think about it logically, you can't do it without really violating people's rights. And so that would have concerned me. Then you want answers. You want clarity. I want answers on how taxpayer dollars are going to be spent. Right? When we're talking $350 billion annually, I need to know how that money is being spent. You guys constantly talk about Ukraine and using taxpayer dollars to assist in defending the sovereignty of Ukraine pertaining to national security, an issue that actually involves national security. And then when we're talking about undocumented immigration, where there's no real consequences, you guys don't have a single question about spending $88 billion per 1 million people.
Well, the taxpayers won't have to pay anything, Adam. The money is coming from tariffs.
What?
The money is coming from tariffs, Adam. You don't quite understand.
Now you're getting kicked. The money is coming from tariffs. You're not allowed to talk anymore. The money is coming from tariffs. Don't ever speak politics ever again in your fucking life. Don't ever talk about politics again in your life. You're banned from talking about, but the money is going to come from tariffs. Holy dear God. Oh my God. Holy shit. Yeah, I know they love to say, some of them love to say Adam 900 times. It's like they like love saying my name or something. It's weird. The money's coming from tariffs. Holy fuck. The money is coming from tariffs. I don't even think Trump knows what tariffs are. I'm serious. I don't think he understands it fully. Now we just get to watch it all go down. How fun is that going to be? All right, everybody, I'm going to restart. I'll be right back. Come right back. I'm going to restart. I'll be right back.
That you don't like?
I wouldn't even need to focus on his first term to make my argument, but we certainly can. I would start with the insurrection if I was going to talk about this specific topic.
That wasn't his. That was just people exercising their right to protest.
Wait, that's your opinion, but that's the state of Colorado, myself, many people in Congress disagree with you. The Department of Justice.
Okay. Does Colorado have voter ID for voting?
What? What does this have to do with?
I'm just asking.
It's irrelevant. Who cares? What's the point?
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, Colorado is irrelevant to the rest of the United States because they don't actually care about having integrity on certain things.
Huh? What are you talking about, dude?
Do you have to show your ID to buy alcohol or cigarettes?
Yes, and you have to present an acceptable form of identification in Colorado to vote.
What is that? Your ID?
Yeah, your license, your passport.
So they actually have to show their ID then?
Yeah, you have to present an acceptable form of identification. You don't have to specifically have a voter identification, but you have to show an acceptable form of identification in order to vote in the state of Colorado.
Well, I was misinformed then. That's my bad.
Yeah, you don't have any clue what you're talking about. But
now you're just going to try to belittle me, right?
No, I'm not belittling you.
I was misinformed. I'm sorry.
All right, good. I'm glad you admitted it. And some people
Well, then
don't
be a bitch about it.
I respect that.
Okay.
Well, don't call me that. So yeah, Donald Trump's an insurrectionist, and he was charged for obstructing an official proceeding. Right, he incited people to stop the certification. So I would say that. But ultimately, I make this argument.
That's misinformation because he actually was never charged with it.
Okay, he doesn't. What do you mean he wasn't charged with it? He was charged with obstructing an official proceeding and conspiracy to defraud the United States. Yes, he was.
He was actually not charged with it, though.
Yes, he was. It's the third federal criminal.
It's actually not finalized, and it's not. He's not been charged with it.
Yes, he was charged. He was not found guilty.
Oh, well, he wasn't found guilty, so he wasn't charged with it.
He was indicted for it.
Well, he still wasn't charged for it because it was false information.
He was indicted. He was convicted.
Yeah, well, you keep on saying, you keep on trying to word things.
No, what you're doing
that makes you right, but you're not right. You're wrong.
So was he convicted on falsifying business records to hide campaign finance violations?
What about Letitia James?
It's not the same case. Was he charged on falsifying business?
Dude, this is a thing. Like,
that's
all
not
the stuff that was presented has been proven false.
Listen, you're not going to steamroll. I'm just going to explain it to you, and you can accept it or not. You're talking about two different cases.
I don't have to accept anything that's not
You're talking about two separate cases. These are not the same cases, right?
It's all the same cases. It's lawfare. No,
they're not.
It's called lawfare. That's what we're talking
okay,
about.
So explain to me which of the four criminal cases there is not evidence for, right? So, like, for instance, you said it's all lawfare. So let's start with this. Tell me how the documents case is lawfare. Go.
The documents case? What do you want to talk about on the documents?
How is it lawfare? I can provide you evidence that he broke the law, which means it justifies it. Guy, you got to let me finish talking and not interrupt me.
Right.
So I'm asking you specifically the second federal criminal indictment, the documents case. How is that lawfare specifically?
Because we're using our three-letter agencies to go after a political opponent.
Okay. And so you're saying that Joe Biden ordered the indictment of Donald Trump and that Donald Trump didn't do something to get himself indicted?
Did Joe Biden have the same documents associated similar to Trump's?
No.
Yes, he did. Yes, he did.
No, they weren't similar. Donald Trump's were far more serious in nature pertaining to national security.
What were they?
So specifically, an example would be he had attack plans for Iran, right? So that's an example of some of these documents, but many of them remain classified but pertain to national security. So I'll explain to you. You're saying that the Biden and Trump cases are the same? And that's proof of lawfare? Is that what you're saying?
I'm not really sure who actually went after Biden, honestly.
Chris in chat said you're a pretend historian. We're not talking about history right now, Chris, and you spelled "your" wrong. So historian's not the word you're looking for, and you spelled "your" wrong.
Why do you guys have to correct people on their spelling? That's what
we do. That's what we do. Spelling is important.
No, it's not. It's childish.
Spelling's not important. Did you just say?
Well, I mean, whenever you have this stuff when you type things out, and
spelling is important. Listen, we're not going to just pretend like spelling's not important like we do everything else with you guys.
Right.
Here's the thing. So you said, I know you want to get away from the conversation, but we're not doing that. So you said that they're the same. Do you know what Donald Trump did that Joe Biden didn't do, which is what resulted in his criminal indictment?
So you're saying that Trump had illegal documents and then Biden had illegal documents, right? Which I don't know if Trump actually had illegal documents because he literally talked to them prior and said, come and get whatever you guys think that is illegal. And he gave them the opportunity to come and get them before they just raided his house.
This is not true, what you're saying. So the difference is that Donald Trump obstructed justice, right? Donald Trump did things. Huh?
Okay. What did Biden do?
He didn't obstruct justice. So did you read the Robert Hur report and Donald Trump's criminal indictment?
I listened to Robert Hur speak.
Cool. So you listened to the hearing. Good. But did you read the report?
What's the report have to be different than the
Because
actual
it explains why the case was not prosecutable.
Oh, right. You mean
Right.
lawfare?
So
You mean our government is corrupt and they're
here's what I'll do for you.
our
I'm gonna go through-
agencies
Here's what I
to-
do for you. I simplify this conversation for Republicans by just reading from the report. Because what you guys do is you try and mischaracterize just about everything, even when you're just wrong. So I'm going to read for you right from Robert Herr's mouth in the report, discussing the distinction between the two cases, right? And I have to go, I can't believe you guys still don't get this. It's remarkable, but it's okay. This is why I save these files and why I actually read these things, because I know you try and mischaracterize everything, and I have to correct it on a regular basis. You know, it sucks, and you know I could have the same conversation in my fucking sleep. You know,
so what are you guys gonna say whenever the departments go after the Democrats now for actually being
I'm
Are you
telling
gonna call it
that they
lawfare or
didn't
not?
weaponize any departments against Donald Trump. He broke
Yes,
the
they
law.
did, dude.
Okay, so
For-
I'm going
for
to
8
explain
years
to you.
they have.
And that's what we're talking about right now in the documents case. And we're going to see if you're just talking.
You guys are
Whatever,
fucking funny.
stop talking. We're going to talk about whether or
That's
not you're
funny.
talking about your feelings, or we're going to talk about whether or not you have evidence to substantiate what you're saying. I guarantee you by the end of this conversation, we're going to find out you're only talking about your feelings. This is from the Robert Herr
I have no
report.
feelings, bro.
This is from the Robert Herr report. Most notably, after being given multiple chances to return classified documents and avoid prosecution, Mr. Trump allegedly did the opposite. According to the indictment, he not only refused to return the documents for many months, but he also obstructed justice by enlisting people to destroy evidence and then lie about it. In contrast, Mr. Biden turned in classified documents to the National Archives, and the Department of Justice consented to the search of multiple locations, including his homes, sat for a voluntary interview, and in other ways cooperated with the investigation. So the distinction is that Donald Trump went to great lengths to obstruct justice. He lied to investigators. He ordered that boxes be moved after receiving a government subpoena. He enlisted people to destroy evidence and then lied about it. So he did things that show intent, malicious intent, right?
So if he actually did that, then he would be in jail.
I can show evidence that Donald Trump was in possession of classified information and shared said classified information.
And we can also show Biden had
information he claimed he was not in possession of, as a matter of fact.
So Biden had the
Can I
same
finish?
thing. So
Can
why
I
are you
finish
talking about
answering
one
the question?
person and not the other?
Can I finish speaking, please? Without
No,
being-
because all you do is just ramble.
Can I finish?
Yeah.
Listen, sometimes when you actually know what you're talking about, it takes a minute to explain.
No, it doesn't. No, you just kind of construe what you're actually trying to say to make
Donald
people
Trump's
think it's
indictment
believable. Is what
Donald
you do.
Trump's indictment is mostly made up of things he did to obstruct justice to maintain possession of those documents, right? So that's what's different. And what they determined in the Biden investigation is that they would not be able to prove intent, right? And so therefore,
Why is that?
So then they could not meet their burden of proof. Just so you know, Robert Herr is a Republican Trump supporter.
No shit.
Yeah. So he would have loved to indict Biden, and that's why he included the political.
You know why he didn't indict Biden?
Guys, shut your mouth. Shut up. All right. You don't know what you're talking about. So
why didn't he indict Biden?
The indictment's mostly made up of things he did to obstruct justice. That's the difference. And when they're making a determination on whether or not a case is prosecutable, okay, they have to determine whether or not the evidence meets the burden of proof. Whether or not the evidence, whether or not the evidence meets the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. This case, they could not prove intent. Therefore, the case could not be successfully prosecuted, mostly because of his cooperation with the investigation and turning over the documents when they were asked by the National Archives and the Department of Justice. When the Department of Justice asked for these documents, you better turn them over. The archives asked for them, but definitely when the Department of Justice asks, you better turn them over. Trump didn't.
Okay, you good now? Can I talk?
You didn't let me talk.
How many locations? Yeah, how many locations did Biden have documents at?
His home was one of the places that he had.
Okay, and there was 3 others, right?
It's irrelevant. It doesn't matter. He didn't obstruct justice. He returned them the minute they were requested.
They weren't requested. They were raided and they found them.
Wrong. That's not what happened. So what happened was his lawyers came across them they were moving or something was home, and they sent them, and they did not find them in a
I'm
raid.
fucking done with you, bro. You're fucking
Show me
so
proof
irrelevant.
they found him in a raid.
You're so irrelevant anymore.
You just made
You're so
it up.
fucking pathetic.
You just made it up. He ran. He ran like a little coward. He ran like a little coward. He just said they found Biden's documents in a raid. Literally has no fucking clue what he's talking about. They found Biden's documents in a raid and then ran. Like, imagine being such a simpleton that you don't even know these basic surface level facts. They get frustrated because they get dunked on. They don't know what they're talking about. You're not going to beat me in a conversation about these indictments. You're going to lose. That's why most Republicans do not go towards the indictments with me, because you will get cooked on that topic. You'll get cooked on every topic, but you'll definitely get cooked on the indictments, because I know what the fuck I'm talking about. Okay? So they did not find those documents in a raid. Goofball. They found them in a raid. And then he goes, and then he says some other thing. I couldn't even hear him. And then he drops a slur. What a joke. What an absolute joke. Swap, what do you think about the background, and who did you vote for?
I voted for Trump.
What do you think about my background?
Yeah. No.
What'd you say?
That it's not true, but I understand that it's clickbait for you, so.
It's not clickbait. It's an exercise, right? It's a political exercise. You know, we need to talk about what makes the United States the United States, and whether or not you have a strong support of those ideas, right? Constitutionally, democratically, and as it pertains to national security. I've come up with a legitimate exercise here that I think is helpful in discovering whether or not you believe what you think you believe. Okay, so would you agree that the Constitution is the foundation of the United States? Liberty, individual rights granted by the Constitution.
The Constitution is the law of the land. That's the law that we're supposed to follow. That's it.
Now, that's cool. That's a great way to put it. Would you agree that individual rights are granted by the Constitution?
Which Constitution, the federal one or your state Constitution? Because you get some from both.
The Constitution of the United States of America.
Yeah, you get rights.
Listen, pseudo-intellectualism does not work on me, all right? You're a pseudo-intellectual, so follow along with the conversation. I'll rock you to sleep just fine. So do you think Donald Trump has respect for the Constitution?
Depends on your definition of respect.
Do you think that he abides by the Constitution? Do you think that he advocates that people should be in prison for exercising constitutional rights? Do you think that Donald Trump respects individual rights protected by the Constitution? Freedom of speech, right to bear arms, yes. Unreasonable search and seizure, due process, the 14th Amendment?
Yeah, I think he does. I think he has an opinion about it, though.
Of course, yeah, everyone can have an opinion, but I think that just generally speaking, you should respect people's constitutional rights, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, you would think that would be an ethically correct thing to do, yes.
Oh, God. An ethically correct thing? It's much more than ethic.
I don't have to support your constitutional rights. I mean,
As a sitting president, you most certainly should. If a Democrat...
Well, you should, but he doesn't have to. Like, nobody has to.
Yes, he does. He takes an oath to the Constitution. What are you talking about?
People break that oath all the time, bro.
Give me an example.
Bo Bergdahl.
You know, Bo Bergdahl was not the president of the United States, simpleton.
He took an oath to the Constitution.
That's great, but we're talking about politicians right now. We're not talking about people in the army.
You didn't say politician. You said taking an oath to the Constitution. I gave you an example.
We're talking about the president, not Bo Bergdahl. Okay, that's a person who was in the military. So anyway, he doesn't. So again, listen, dude. Like I said, just relax. We know you're not smart. You don't have to try and pretend to be. Okay. So when Donald Trump, no, dude, I just know a pseudo intellectual when I see one. Right. You are exactly. I can smell it. I could smell it from a mile away.
Raided Biden's house.
Wait. Biden voluntarily let them search his home. You do know that, right?
So you admit that the feds, not his lawyers,
he gave them. No, that's not what happened. Wrong again.
You just said his lawyers That Biden
Yes,
told you
and then he let them, yes, his lawyers came across classified documents and he turned them in. He allowed them to search his home after that as a part of his cooperation
Right,
with
and
the investigation.
some of those-
Excuse me, do you know what a raid
documents
is?
were from his time
Excuse
as
me,
a senator.
sir, do you know what a raid is?
A raid?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's an unprompted search.
yeah. So it was not a raid, okay? He told them, yes, you can search my property as a part of the cooperating with the investigation. Donald Trump, there was a lawfully executed search warrant. He refused to allow them to search his property. That's
Let me
the
ask you,
difference.
what do you think would have happened if Biden's attorneys would have said no? You can't search. Do you think that they would have raided him like they raided Trump?
Yeah, no shit, probably.
Okay, now do you know and agree that they found
Not even technically
documents
raid, but go ahead.
Do you know that they found documents from Biden's case from times that he was a senator? My question being, why would a senator have documents?
You don't think that they have classified documents?
So like the documents that a president can take, right, aren't the same as the same as the
We
senator.
didn't say they were, and they weren't.
Well, then why did Biden have them?
Because you're allowed to have classified. You're allowed to be in possession of classified documents. Who told you he wasn't?
Then why did they take them?
Do you know? Wait.
Why did they take them? Why did
What
they take them?
documents are you talking about? Because again, just like in Trump's case, documents he may have been in possession of at one time doesn't mean he's allowed to still be in possession of. When the National Archives asks for these documents back, you have a period of time you have to return them. You can't just refuse to return them, and you certainly can't obstruct justice when the Department of Justice requests them.
No, okay, that's true. No, that means
Okay,
true.
what documents specifically?
How long did that box of documents? sit in Joe Biden's
Guy.
garage?
What you're trying to do is
How long
pivot
did
to
that-
another.
how long did that
So
box
again,
of documents sit in Joe
guy,
Biden's garage?
shut up.
Answer the question, bro.
Shut up.
Don't pivot, just answer the question.
You don't know what you're talking about. Shut up.
Answer the question.
Shut up. You don't
Answer the
tell me what
question.
to do. Shut up. You have no clue what you're talking about. Shut up.
Pivot.
Shut up. So one of these guys again, fucking shut up. Shut up. This is all I do now. Shut up. I'm talking. Shut up. Shut up when I'm talking. Pseudo-intellectual. Shut up when I'm talking, pseudo-intellectual. Pseudo-intellectual. Shut up, pseudo-intellectual. I'm talking, pseudo-intellectual. I'm talking, pseudo. I'm talking. Okay? So the difference between these two cases.
Chill, bro. You're a paid hack.
Paid by who?
Paid by who?
Yeah. Who am I paid by? Show proof. Who am I paid by?
You wouldn't know proof that hit you.
Who am I paid by? Show proof. Or is this more of your feelings?
No, it's a fact, bro.
Okay, show me. Who am I paid by?
It's a fact just as
Show
much
me
as
who
a
I'm
fact.
paid by. Who am I paid by?
The DNC, homie. You're just like Harry and Dean.
Wait. I know everything I need
Palate-
to know about
palate
you,
management.
homie. Nothing more cringe than a white
palate
dude
management.
calling me homie. Nothing
Palate
more
management.
cringe than a white dude calling me homie.
Palate management.
Palate management. Okay, show proof.
There you go, bro.
Show proof. Do you have proof?
Hide from it, bro.
Do you have proof?
You paid.
Do you have proof?
I do.
Do you have proof?
It's called public record, my guy.
Show proof. Show proof, homie. Show proof, homie.
Paid shills, bro.
Timu Vanilla Ice here.
So you gonna answer the question or not?
Timu Vanilla Ice. I do what I want. You're a Muppet. You don't have a single clue what you're talking about.
Yeah, answer-
Why was the Biden case not prosecuted?
Because he's not competent enough to stand trial.
Wrong.
Exactly what he said.
Can you? Okay, so do you understand?
Show me where it didn't say that. Show me where he didn't say that.
Right. No, I'll explain it to you if you'll shut up long enough.
Show me the proof. Show me.
Shut up, and I'll explain it. So
me,
that part,
show me.
I'm going to if you'll stop talking.
Show me.
You think you can stop talking long enough?
Provide the proof.
See,
Provide
guys,
the proof.
they interrupt because they'll get dog walked if they don't.
Provide the proof, dude. I'm just
So
using
that part of the report is simply stating how you'll be perceived. I have to keep muting him. See, he's scared to have a debate because he knows he'll get fucking destroyed. So again, that part of the report, right, is simply how he would be perceived by a jury, right? Can you tell me why the transcript stated that Biden had a photographic recall of the House if he has a poor memory? And by the way, that statement is not about if he can stand trial. That's something you read on Twitter.
That's fucking.
You read it on Twitter. You didn't even read the report. I can tell that you didn't even read the report. You didn't even read the report. He thinks the little part of the report where it said that Biden is a well-meaning, well-intentioned elderly man with a poor memory meant he can't stand trial. That this is a statement they make about whether or not a jury would convict him beyond a reasonable doubt, because intent is an incredibly important part of the case, right? Meeting your burden of proof. Hey, what source is that you're showing there? What source is that you're showing?
Paid Chill.
What source is that you're showing? Why are you scared to debate?
There you go, Paid Chill.
Why are you scared to debate? Why are you scared to debate?
I just showed it to you.
Why are you so scared to debate?
I just showed it to you.
Why are you so scared to debate?
I just showed it to you.
Why are you so scared to debate? Can you tell me why the transcript stated that Biden had a photographic recall of the House if he has a poor memory?
Hey, Paid Chill, how do you like that proof I just showed you?
He can't answer. He can't answer.
How do you like
Proof
that?
of what?
I just showed it to you, you fucking retard.
You showing another headline, Muppet? You showing a headline? Guy, listen, you're getting dominated right now. You're getting dominated.
The only
you
domination you've ever experienced was
everyone in here who's read the report knows that you're a fool. All right? Everyone in here that's read the report knows that you're a Muppet. Only people who haven't read the report would believe what you're saying, and you haven't read the report.
I just showed you the proof.
You haven't read the report. Just like your accusations of me being paid, you're a liar who doesn't know what he's talking about. You didn't show me shit. You didn't show me shit. You didn't show me shit.
You record your live.
You didn't show me shit.
You record your live.
You didn't show me shit.
You record your live.
You didn't show me shit.
You record your live.
De-record your lives. He's so scared to debate. So guys, as a part of the investigation, what happens is they make a determination on whether or not a case can be successfully prosecuted, right? And so part of that is determining how the jury would perceive the defendant in terms of whether or not there was intent. Now, SWAT Legacy here, this wannabe cop, doesn't even know what intent is. He doesn't know what the burden of proof is. Do you know what the burden of proof is, SWAT?
You don't know what a woman is.
What's the burden of proof?
What's a woman?
What's the burden of proof? He doesn't know.
What's a woman?
Doesn't even know what the burden of proof is in a criminal court.
The burden of proof.
You don't even know.
Yeah, I'm answering you. If you shut your cum hole for a minute.
Sit quietly. Doesn't even know the fucking burden of proof in a fucking criminal case. So you have to, the evidence has to meet the burden. You understand? The evidence has to meet the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. If it does not meet the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt, the case cannot be successfully prosecuted. Do you know how much it costs to prosecute these cases? Hey guys, we heard it. We heard you say, he said the R slur. Cool, we heard you. We got it. Okay, we kicked him. We don't need to hear you say it 4,000 times. I love when the whole chat, like, they just start fucking saying it one after another. Like, and they're still saying it right now. Like, holy shit. It's so annoying. Like, you make it more, you make it worse when you keep fucking spamming it over and over like little children. So that guy has no idea what he's talking about. No idea what he's talking about. None. None. Zero. It has to meet the burden of proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The evidence did not show intent.
Adam.
What?
Do you feel in your heart that your...
And then he also makes a statement that I'm paid. Of course, that has no proof either. You know what I mean? That's just a fucking lie by Republicans too.
I have something I got to say. Do you feel in your heart that Joe Biden is currently being a sore loser by escalating the war in Ukraine?
A Republican in chat just said Adam is loosing it. No, he's not escalating the war. Let's follow your line of logic here, right, Muppet? So if he was escalating the war, why would we want Donald Trump to be the president, or Donald Trump to be the president of the United States during an active war?
Because you want to muddy up his presidency right before it starts. So believe me, he's interacting with Putin right now. And you guys need to just walk away and stop being sore losers.
No, let's follow the line of logic for Republicans, because this is about the fourth person that said this to me today, right? That there's a deliberate escalation by Biden. So let's talk about it, right? If there's an escalation, right? Or why would we deliberately escalate it so Donald Trump, who we think has terrible leadership qualities, would be in charge of nuclear deployment during a world war? Wouldn't we want to de-escalate or give Ukraine a chance potentially to continue to fight as Donald Trump threatens to withdraw support? Of course, we would not want to escalate tensions to a point where Donald Trump has more responsibility and could hurt the American people more. Why would we want to put him in that position?
Well, you have a lot of faith in your own party. I think after they lose, they would rather the world burn. They have no way out of this.
Hey, listen, I'm going to say it one more time. Listen, I'm going to say it one more time, and I'm going to kick you if you don't get it. So let's see if you can actually listen to what I'm saying. Stop. I'm going to give you one more chance to absorb what I'm saying, or I'm going to kick you.
I don't care if you kick me. I said what you can't fucking say anything.
You're not listening to what I'm saying. So I'm going to say it again. Let's see if you can listen to what I'm saying. Listen, open your ears and listen. Okay? Why would we Again, I'm going to give you one chance to listen to what I'm saying. Why would we deliberately escalate a war, tensions, to put Donald Trump in a position where he could potentially end the world? We talk about our concerns with his leadership qualities, right? Why would we put him in a position where he has to consider nuclear deployment? Why would we put Donald Trump in that position? Let's follow your line of logic. What would be the benefit of creating World War III as Donald Trump inherits the presidency? What would be the benefit?
Well, is it not your goal to win in 2028?
There won't be a 2028 if there's World War III. That's what I'm trying to explain to you.
No, but what I'm trying to explain to you is that Trump is going to go and cool this down, but it's your guys' last ditch effort to somehow put an arrow through him after he's won already.
These guys don't understand what World War III looks like.
It won't happen once Trump is in. It's over.
Listen, do you think like if there's a World War III, we're just like gonna like go on with life? Do you know what World War III looks like in 2024?
Yes, I do know.
What does it look like?
It won't take place.
What does it look like?
It may have nukes involved in it.
Yeah. There is no 2028. So no one is trying to escalate war to guaranteed.
So why did they let him use American rockets?
Stop talking. Stop talking.
Why did they let him use American rockets?
Stop talking. I'm not in the mood today.
Why does Zelensky get to use American rockets?
No one's trying to escalate.
Explain it. I want the answer.
So cool. So it has to do, number one, with like military depots and like moving military depots farther back. But let me explain something to you. Do you think the escalation is approving long range missiles, or do you think that the escalation is approving North Korean troops to Russia? Was that
I think the escalation by us would be that.
Why are you not?
I think that would be an escalation by
Stop
Putin.
talking. Why are you not outraged by the escalation of North Korean troops sent to Russia?
Because I think Ukraine is run by schmazzies.
John Miller, get in the box. I miss dunking on you regularly. What'd you say?
I believe Ukraine is run by schmazzies, so I don't.
That's Russian propaganda. I'm so close.
No, it's propaganda to you, but you haven't watched the documentaries that I have watched about World War II.
Actually, I have. So you're talking. So what specifically? You do know that Zelensky
they schmurdered about.
So you do know that Zelensky is a democratically elected president who received 73+% of the vote, and he's Jewish, right? You do know a Jewish man was democratically elected to a schmatzy government? Does that make sense to you? Goofball.
You know who George Soros is, or do I need to like let you know?
This guy's not interested in a legitimate conversation.
No, because you're an idiot.
You're not, dude. Yes, I'm the idiot. So can you tell me specifically?
Yeah, you're just not smart.
Megan Force, no offense, you're a simpleton. I mean this with all my heart. You are defending a murderous authoritarian dictator, right? You're telling us the United States, who invaded who? Why are you not blaming Putin for the escalation? He invaded Ukraine.
Because Ukraine has been treating Russian people in his country.
Wait, Ukraine's been treating. Can you tell me, was there a formal treaty ever signed that said Ukraine couldn't join NATO? Was there a formal treaty signed ever that said NATO could not move eastward? Give me an example. Give me a legitimate justification for the invasion. Go.
I believe that people in the Donbass regions and other regions in Ukraine did not want to be. They were treated incorrectly by their own government, and Putin was trying to help them out.
What's your source?
The government
helped them out. What's your source?
He said it himself.
Putin?
Yes. That there was
the truth teller.
There were things going on in Ukraine.
Putin, the truth teller.
Putin said it himself. That's his proof. This guy is such a simpleton.
Hey, MAGA guy, real quick.
What a simpleton.
You said that we're trying to escalate before Donald Trump comes in and cools it down. How would Donald Trump cool it down? What's his plan there?
He will just talk to them like he always does this.
Oh, he just talks to them? So that's your strategy?
He's better than you. He can get things done.
He never did before.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
You guys just like to say that. It helps you feel better.
Okay, then prove where he did.
Yeah, he did a great.
Many different areas.
If you tell me,
the lowest
if I say to Adam, I say Adam.
Ever.
Stop interrupting, Megan Forcer.
If I say, hey, Adam, this problem you have, I have a solution for it. And Adam says, okay, no problem. What's the solution?
This guy, he needed his sight.
Still interrupting, right? He can't. He's just loud and wrong. And
Adam says, okay, I'm interested in your solution. What is it? And I say,
grown man names himself Megan Forcer.
I know, it's so weird. And I say, nah, bro, just trust me. I have a solution. That's what you guys always say. Trump's going to come here and cool it down. No, he's not.
You'll see.
Vladimir Putin has everything to lose if he doesn't win in Ukraine.
Maybe I'll send Austin Foreman your way, dude.
Yet.
Exactly.
I'll send Austin Foreman your way.
Send who?
It already comes your way.
We don't give a shit about that guy or you. Okay, Muppet? Grown man with the name MAGA Enforcer. Like, seriously, man, enough said. I don't have to say shit beyond
Who did he say, Zari? What do you say?
You want some, like, AFF in your life? Keep doing it.
Dude, you're a grown man. Touch grass. Seriously, touch grass. Touch grass. Like, quickly touch grass, dude.
Anyway,
by the way,
Muppet,
Frog's in the chat. Muppet's in the chat. What do you think? Like, he's the only person in the world with like seriously, man? Like, you're a grown man.
Hell yeah.
Like, seriously, have you ever
I'm more man than you'll ever be.
Have you ever considered that? Like, you're grown?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Just remember that next time you say something like that. Just remember.
I'll say whatever I want to say.
Right? You're a grown man.
I won the election. Your thoughts don't matter anymore.
So again, yeah. So that's how it works. So did your thoughts
there's
matter?
No power left.
Did your thoughts matter when Biden
Find
won?
a branch of government that you have power in.
Did your thoughts matter when Biden won?
You even have the judicial branch.
Did your thoughts matter when Biden won?
No, you don't have the judicial branch because the Supreme Court is conservative. So you're fucked.
So did your thoughts matter when Biden won?
He didn't have the Supreme Court. So yeah, they did.
What?
Wait a minute. Shouldn't the Supreme Court be nonpartisan?
No, it shouldn't. When your guys' thoughts are so leftist,
this is how we know you're fascist.
Stop
you support fascism. You want fascism. You love fascism. You need it.
No, I don't.
Give me more fascism.
I like America First agendas.
No, you don't. You like fascism.
America First agenda.
America First
but wants to impose criminal penalties on Americans.
We're not going to help Ukraine soon. It's over for everything.
Guy,
and we're punting your illegal aliens out of the country.
Why are you cheering on? Why are you cheering on a Vladimir Putin victory? That's weird to me.
Yeah, because you know why, Jolly? Because Russia has realized, whether this is smart or not, Russia has realized that they can target a specific end of the political spectrum that is uneducated, gullible as shit, right?
And we'll
They
buy
can
their
push
propaganda.
propaganda and misinformation on them, psychological warfare, and these guys will fall for it, hook, line, and sinker. Putin has them in here defending him. They don't give it. He hates them, but he has them in here defending them. Like
it's really sad. Actually.
Yeah, it really is. Like, imagine being this gullible. Hey, Mag Enforcer, did you know what's crazy? Did you know the word gullible's not in the dictionary?
No, I didn't know. But I'm not gullible.
Crazy. No, seriously, check.
I just have a different point of view than you.
The word gullible's not even in there. It doesn't even exist.
Okay, cool. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about the fact
that like,
your president escalates war because he's a sore loser.
Vladimir Putin escalates. What are you talking about? This is what we mean. Listen, man, I don't actually, have obviously any familial or tie or any kind of tie to Ukraine. I get that. I'm American. That's Ukraine. I get that. But we all live on the same rock. However, I have common sense and critical thinking abilities. Russia invaded Ukraine. Vladimir Putin taking more land is bad for everybody because Vladimir Putin's a madman. And Vladimir Putin really doesn't like the United States and secretly has visions of sugar plums dancing in his head. One day he can annex the United States, and he sees Donald Trump as a easily manipulatable muppet that he can control and hopefully one day take. So for us to just roll over and let him have Ukraine is not only bad geopolitically, it's anti-human rights. So for you to sit here and cheer on a Vladimir Putin victory in Ukraine,
I'm not cheering on. I want the war to end.
You want the war to end. This is how simple.
To stop dying.
So it's not as I know.
I want people to stop
dying. Hey, real quick. Do you want people to stop dying?
You guys just want it to keep going.
Do you want people to stop dying in Palestine? Do you want to stop half the population that's children over there? Do you want them to stop dying?
No, we should make that glass.
There you go, everybody. Thank you for proving my point. It was easier than I thought. So this guy doesn't care about stopping people from dying?
Not at all.
That's not what they care about. Did you hear it? He proved the point.
No. I just don't like terrorists.
I know, because children are terrorists, right?
No, but there are terrorists running that.
You understand?
Okay,
and guess
what would you call Vladimir Putin?
Not a terrorist.
Are there schmazzies in the United States?
Huh?
Are there schmazzies that live in the United States?
Yeah.
Do we condemn the entire population of the United States because there's schmazzies in the United States?
No.
Then your argument doesn't make any sense. Be quiet.
Also, if you don't classify,
quiet, Toenail.
If you don't classify Vladimir Putin as a terrorist, then let me tell you something. You don't know what terrorist means.
Yeah, the guy who conspired with Bashar al-Assad to drop chemical weapons.
Let's not get on the Islamic terrorist thing because we'll start talking about that. You don't want that. So you should just shut up
You'll
about
lose that argument.
We know what goes on with that.
Is it schmearism to drop chemical weapons on children in Syria?
I didn't agree with that.
Is it?
Yeah, Vladimir Putin did though.
Terrorism.
I am not a Vladimir Putin supporter.
Is it terrorism to unalive an entire town of civilians, hands tied behind their back, pew-pewed execution style in Bucha in Ukraine, ordered by Vladimir Putin, mass graves? Is that terrorist? An entire town of civilians, unalived, at the orders of Vladimir Putin, put in mass graves, pew-pewed execution style. That's not terrorism, though. This guy thinks Putin's a good leader. Enough said.
Well, this is my point. Let me explain to MAGA Enforcer here. Let me just call you Steve. Listen, if you are saying just give Ukraine to Vladimir Putin, stop supporting Ukraine, then you're cheering on a Vladimir Putin victory.
I didn't say that, but there are certain regions of Ukraine that should belong to him.
No, they don't belong to him. They're a sovereign nation. Be quiet and listen.
How do they belong? Okay, Adam, that's a good segue. So, what do you mean by they belong to him? Let's clarify this logic. So, historically, they are the Soviet Union territory, so they belong to Vladimir Putin.
There are areas of Ukraine that don't want to be part of Ukraine.
No, it's not just. No, you said they belong to him. You said they belong.
Yeah, they do now because those people want to be Russian.
Okay,
and that's what you guys don't get.
And the Palestinian people
There's
want
tons
it
of
free.
Ukrainians that love Vladimir Putin and want to be Russian.
And there's most that don't.
Well, the ones
literally.
that do, that's where he's taking land.
Listen to yourself.
So
listen to yourself.
So everyone knows.
I want you to listen to what you're saying.
Straight here. I want to set the record.
I
straight
don't care, man. Ukrainian
civilians. I want to set the record straight here on this guy. So, guys, Ukrainian civilians overwhelmingly reject this idea. So
that's just propaganda.
Okay,
no, the propaganda. Oh my God, bro!
You guys are propagandists to the nth degree.
The propaganda is the part that you're buying into, that they would love Putin.
You guys are still
really don't
MSNBC propaganda on here.
This isn't
that
MSNBC.
is just going to be stomped out, and Elon's going to own TikTok too, and then you're not going to have shit.
Right. I have to restart the live. I'll be right back.
Good. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah, you're a Muppet. You got dog walked.
You're an idiot.
You got dog walked. You got dog walked. I'll be right back, everybody. He got dog walked because he doesn't know what he's. Cash apps this morning. Let me thank those people really quick. Let me thank those people. Summer, thank you so much. W Summer, thank you so much, Summer. I really appreciate you. Let me read the stuff here. Thomas says Dunkin' Donuts. Thank you, Thomas. Appreciate you, Dunkin' Donuts. Christina, thank you, Christina, for the $1.
Get you right, man. I feel like betrayed almost, and I'm being dead ass. Still upset about the Pam Bondi pick. I don't agree with it.
Well, tried telling you, Michael. I don't know. It's too late now. Anyway.
But what I'm saying is, when I look at like certain politicians, when I look at like the Senator John N. Kennedy, when I look at like Ron DeSantis or Trump or things like that, I don't just see them as politicians. I see them as like, big brothers almost. And when they lie to me, I don't like it. And I'm being honest with you.
Well, you fell for it, man. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, what are you caught up in this Second Amendment thing, you mean?
Yeah, I'm caught up in it, man. And I feel like she's going to take our, I don't know. She's like extremely against. I don't know if you've seen it, but she's the only attorney general in Florida that went against the Second Amendment, man. And I'm kind of worried. Once again, like I said, if I knew this was gonna happen, I should have just voted for Kamala. But I
don't know.
Yeah.
But, so listen, man, it is what it is. What can I tell you? I mean, you made the decision, right? Why would you vote for Trump? Like, if it comes down to the Second Amendment, wouldn't you be more of like a Chase Oliver kind of supporter than Donald Trump?
Yeah, but he appointed Vivek Ramaswamy. He's extremely 2A. Vivek Ramaswamy, he believes people should be walking around with.
Yeah, but he doesn't have a record though.
Yeah,
Vivek doesn't have a record in politics to lean on as pro Second Amendment.
Yeah,
but, so he's a former CEO of a pharmaceutical company. He doesn't have anything to do with politics. He came out of nowhere, and the thing about Ramaswamy too is that he really had a different opinion before Trump. So before he started getting involved in politics about Trump. So, yeah.
It just sucks, man. Listening to the NRA, and now I gotta worry about this dude.
What did the NRA say about it?
No, the NRA backs Trump. Like, they backed him, right? I usually look for who the NRA gives an A+.
So let's see. Bondi opposed semi-automatic weapon ban.
No,
state law prohibits from openly carrying weapons. There's gun control measures passed in the wake of Parkland shooting. She defended the gun control measures passed after the Parkland shooting. And obviously, I think that's the law that the NRA challenged. Yeah.
So she's the only attorney general in Florida to go against the Second Amendment, man. So it's quite frightening. And then I heard people bringing up, the argument you gave was Trump's the one who said take them without due process, and it's scary, man. So
Maureen, thank you so much, Maureen. Well, I tried to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, you know what I mean? I mean, to be honest with you, I believe in common sense gun control, but if you were a purist, an absolutist in regards to Second Amendment, then you shouldn't have voted for Trump. Trump doesn't care about the Constitution, period. He gives it no consideration whatsoever. So
yeah, man, that's what I'm not just now seeing when I'm giving it thought, man, is he's not, he's not the absolutist that I thought he was. I thought he's like, why would he appoint somebody like this?
Well, then you didn't listen. I tried telling you.
Yeah, so all right, man. I'm gonna lay back down on it. I'm still a little down from it.
All right, well, go lay down. I told you guys, you're going to have slowly a separation of people who get that they made a mistake, and then people like MAGA enforcer that are just like, yeah, Trump. Like MAGA enforcer will literally be on fire and still support Trump. He could be on fire from a nuclear weapon and still be like, yeah, Trump is great. Like people like that, people with MAGA in their name, there's so many of them. MAGA Patriot, MAGA 1776, MAGA this, MAGA that. All of those types of people will always support Trump. Like they'll be on fire and they'll be like, 1776, go Trump. But then you'll have people that are just regular people who had a particular reason they supported Trump will come to the realization as this policy begins to get implemented that they were fooled. You know what I mean? Irish, what's up?
Hey, what's going on? I'm a friendly. Just want to make something real quick. Why is no one bringing up the fact that previously Trump said in order for this conflict to end, Ukraine would have to give up land to Russia? And secondly, why is no one even bringing up the fact that Russia launched...
Who the hell's no one? I bring that up all the time.
Well, I'm not saying you. In general, but like none of your guests have brought that up at all. You have, but your guests haven't. And also, why do they not even talk about the fact that Russia launched an ICBM, which is a nuke-capable weapon?
Yeah, it's a threat.
Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. Like, no one wants to realize that stuff. That if this happens, it's
they
over
realize
quick.
it. They're falling for it. That's propaganda. That firing that weapon was propaganda. That's a threat. Like I always say, Vladimir Putin's greatest weapon is not even his nuclear deployment capabilities. It's the threat of his nuclear deployment capabilities, right? They have roughly the same amount as us, I believe. But the threat, preying on Western anxiety about nuclear deployment is one of his greatest weapons. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate it. It's the final countdown. I just don't understand the logic. You know what I mean? Following that line of logic. Justin.
Hey, what's up?
What's up? Who'd you vote for?
I voted for Trump.
Okay. Any thoughts on my background?
I mean, like, what do you want me to say about it?
It's an exercise, right? Whatever you feel about it. If you think it's true, if you don't, if you want to explore why.
So, yes. So I will say that on that day, there were people that were violent and.
What day? It says you can't be a patriot and support Trump. What day are you talking about?
J6.
Okay.
Yeah, like because that's a photo of J6, right? Yeah.
Oh yeah. But that's not what the topic's about. But you can certainly talk about that if you want.
Yeah, I mean, because like I'm just bringing it up based off of your photo, so that's why.
It's more about the statement there. I mean, January 6th is obviously an example of why you can't be patriotic and support Trump. But yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, about J6 though. I mean, yeah, I will say there were people that were like violent, and those people that were violent, like they should be in jail. But like there was also people on that day that were also like peaceful. But they were also like falsely prosecuted, and they should be pardoned. So those people that were just
like
peaceful,
who?
Huh?
Like who?
What do you mean who? I mean, I don't know. I mean, I all I know is no.
Then how'd you just
like there were people on? I'm sure there were people on that day that were that were just falsely prosecuted.
So you're just assuming you don't actually know, though.
Hold on.
Like. You want to Google a case you're referring to specifically?
Yeah, I got you.
Because Because you do know that the Capitol building wasn't open, right?
What do you mean they were like? What do you mean they were not open?
It was closed. You weren't allowed to be inside the Capitol building. So anyone who entered the Capitol building broke the law.
Yeah, but like at the same time, also police officers let them in. So
no, they didn't.
Yes, they did.
No, they didn't. So
and not only that, freaking Trump offered the National Guard to Nancy Pelosi, and her daughter actually took full responsibility of January 6th.
That never happened.
Trump actually offered the National Guard to Pelosi.
Can I just finish speaking, please? I can't believe I'm actually debating this still. But who has the ultimate authority over the National Guard in Washington, D.C.?
I'm pretty sure it's the mayor.
Who's the mayor?
I don't know who the mayor of D.C. is,
The mayor has the ultimate authority over the National Guard in Washington, D.C.? The mayor?
I mean, I don't know.
Who has the ultimate authority over the National Guard in Washington, D.C.?
Yeah.
Realizing.
Hold up.
That lap said everything to me. Who has the ultimate authority over the National Guard in Washington, D.C.?
Bro, you tell me.
Donald Trump.
Okay, and Donald Trump, he literally, they took down his office.
Donald Trump wanted the National Guard there, Justin. He could have had the National Guard there because Donald Trump determines if the National Guard is there. No one else. Donald Trump is in charge of the National Guard. If he wants the National Guard there, he can have the National Guard there. No one can tell him no. Okay. So the second statement you made is police let people in. That never happened, Justin. So this was a part of a Tucker Carlson piece where it showed it didn't properly display the timeline and showed police walking around with people like Jacob Chansley, commonly referred to as the QAnon shaman, indicating that police were letting people in. That's not what happened. And so let me just show you something really quick here, okay? To quickly debunk that.
Oh, by the way, just
wait.
No, I'm trying to explain.
Don't speak until we're doing one thing at a time. This conversation, believe me, I don't want to have to repeat myself on this topic. It's frustrating to me that I even have to explain this to you right now, that you're way behind.
Well, because you're wrong.
Okay, I'm wrong. I've only successfully debated this topic thousands of times, and every single person loses that debates it. And you will too, right? So this is how it goes, okay? So I'm going to play it for you. Here we go. I want you to look. What's happening? So that was an entry point. That was an entry point by the Columbus doors, right? Can you tell me, how can you let people in that are already inside? Many of those people he ran. So anyway, just to finish what I was saying, because that little guy ran, how can you let people in that are already inside? That was a entry point. And a couple of those people were Proud Boys. A few of those were Proud Boys. And that by the Columbus doors, broke in the window. How would you let people in that are already inside? No one was let inside, okay? It's absolutely fucking ridiculous to even claim that that's what happened. That's not what happened. What's up, Brett?
I caught in at the last little bit of that last dude, and I was just wanted to clarify, it even says it in the Constitution that Trump is was at the time the commander-in-chief of the Army, the Navy, and of the militia of the state and of the several states, which is our National Guard. Article 2, Section 2.
Scott, what's going on?
How you doing today, sir?
What's up? Are you a Trump supporter?
Hell no.
Okay, well, I'm looking for opposition today, but I'll give you 15 seconds or 30 seconds. Go ahead.
I'm probably the only person you've had who's actually worked in the Trump organization.
Oh, you work with the Trump? Oh, I talked to you before, right?
Yep, I worked in the casinos as an accountant and a dealer.
Yeah. What's up?
I mean, I'm just tired
What
of
year did you work for him? What years did you work for him?
94 to the beginning of 97.
94 to the beginning of 97. Did you have interactions with him?
I only saw him in the casino once when Luciano Pavarotti came to sing. It was the only time he was in the casino.
Yeah. Well, go ahead.
I was to say, I think I mentioned to you how he tried to have an old woman thrown out of her house.
He tried to do what now?
He tried to have an old woman thrown out of her house using eminent domain laws in Atlantic City.
Mm-hmm.
Because her house was built back in the 1920s and it was really dilapidated. It was right next to the casino, only a block and a half off the boardwalk, but he wouldn't pay her a price for it. So he tried to get the Casino Control Commission in New Jersey to force her out of the house.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me at all. Thank you for coming up, Scott. Appreciate you. That does not surprise me whatsoever. Really does not surprise me at all. It's the final count. If you're trolling, dude, I'm just gonna kick you. Z Larson.
I'll tell you what, that USMC Angry Vet, he is a troll.
Yeah, he's a Mick Angry Muppet. Some guy literally came in here and tried to debate January 6th. Wait a second, this is not. Guys, I'm looking for... Let's see this. So now the thing is, if you guys haven't seen yet, which you will, these Trump supporters are trying to like blame Biden for starting World War III as Trump enters office. Can someone tell me the logic behind that fucking thing?
I thought Donald Trump said that one phone call after he got elected would end the war.
Within 24 hours, yep.
Isn't that what he said? That's weird.
He did say that, and of course that never happened because he's a liar.
Shocking.
But even more so, Joe Rogan, you know, I don't know if everyone heard, if you guys heard this yet. I played this morning. This is pretty annoying to me, but let me play it. This is Joe Rogan yesterday or the day before. The hell? Let me turn the sound on this now.
We would like to avoid from a dying former president. The whole thing's nuts. I mean, look, I don't know. I feel safer knowing that Trump is in office. I do too. I feel great about it. Like, what I don't feel safer is right now they're launching missiles into Russia. How are you allowed to do that when you're on the way out? Like, the people don't want you to be there anymore. There should be like some sort of like a pause for like significant actions that could potentially start World War III. Maybe that would be a good thing that we would like to avoid from a dying former president. The whole thing's nuts. I mean, look, I don't know shit about politics. Zelensky says Putin is terrified. You, man. You people are about to start World War III. Yes. Not the guy who invaded the fucking country? What a thing to say. I've been fired an intercontinental ballistic missile for the first time ever. It's the first time one of those has ever been used. Because those intercontinental ballistic missiles can have nukes on them. This one didn't, but if it does, the whole world changes, and it changes because of the military-industrial complex, and it changes because of the money that's going to Ukraine, and it changes because the outgoing president. Like, who caused this war in Ukraine? Was it the military-industrial complex that made Russia invade? How is the blame getting all the way back to them? U.S. allows Ukraine to use long-range missiles. So what did they say? Someone had said that, like, CNN was saying it was a good thing, which I think is how is the left gone so far crazy that they think it's a good thing to launch missiles? That's what's scary about life. Is like you don't want to pay attention to that shit. How do you deal with dipshits that have ridiculous political takes, but when pushed under the retreat to the
literally trying to frame it like Biden is escalating the war when Putin is literally the person who invaded, literally the person who, you know, now has had North Korean troops sent to Russia. Like, this is Putin's fault. This isn't the fault of Joe Biden.
Yep.
I mean, it's just weird.
At this point, they would blame all of Jim Jones's followers for the Kool-Aid instead of Jim Jones himself.
It's propaganda, and they fall for it. It's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah.
I literally cannot, like, I just can't stand Republicans. I was talking about this before, right? Russia sees how absolutely uneducated and gullible one side of the political spectrum is in the United States, and has targeted them like through social media. Psychological warfare just feeds them nothing but propaganda, and they fucking take it hook, line, and sinker every single time. Russia is manipulating the shit out of the Republican Party, the voter base.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I keep saying it. Congratulations to Russia on winning the Cold War. They played the long game and they pulled it off.
Yeah, seriously.
Congratulations.
I don't know what to call you, but Base, what's going on?
Oh, dude, not much. I heard y'all playing my favorite gnome, big DG cheer. So it's cool to see some like actual like centrist libs on the platform. It's shocking how bad most of the takes are on here.
Who did I play?
Destiny.
Oh yeah. I was just playing him because he was basically just responding to Rogan's idiotic comments. Why do you think they were idiotic?
Yeah, of course. Rogan's like an actual Russian psyop at this point.
Like legitimately, really.
Or actually, I wouldn't argue that he's paid by Russia personally. Yeah, I just he is absolutely compromised, and he's just doing Russian propaganda now.
Yeah, I mean, he gave this like it wasn't that long ago. People were telling me like, well, he doesn't really support Trump. And I was like, what are you talking about? Of course he does.
Yeah,
he played so this awesome. Like, this kind, he took like, there was like a soft launch kind of like he was just like insinuating that Trump is better than now he's just full blown Trump is better.
Yeah, I think especially with RFK folding in, I mean, I think the real realignment, conservatives try to talk about this, but I don't think they get it right when they talk about like the MAGA party or whatever. It's like there has seemed to be a really interesting realignment where instead of like just left versus right, there tends to be a very big like establishment versus anti-establishment bend. And as someone that's like actually super pro-establishment, like loves our institutions and shit, like it's really, really like nerve-wracking to see like that be like the way the parties are aligned right now. Seemingly, there's like people that like rules and order, and then the ones that basically just want, I guess, a king.
Watch. Let me give you an example of one right now. John, come here for a second. Sean, come here. I mean, this guy literally compliments. Like, this guy actually fucking has fallen full-blown in love with Putin. It's really disturbing. Sean, is Putin a good leader?
I wouldn't call any leader a good leader.
See, he just does the same. So, is the United States responsible for escalating tensions?
Absolutely.
So they're not responding to an escalation, but they're escalating.
Well, I'm going to tell you right now, when you sign ballistic missiles on live TV and advertise it so that another nuclear power can see it, it's pretty much, talking shit. It's pretty much saying, putting your chest out and being like, yo.
Who's responsible for aggressing upon Ukraine? Like, who's responsible for further aggressing upon
this? People talk about them. I don't care about that. I care about
well, that's the most important part.
Yeah.
No, we need peace. That's the most important part. And when our government comes out, when there's going to be a peaceful transition, there's supposed to be, and you 59 days before the transition, you say, okay, you can do long-range missile attacks towards Kremlin. Like,
hey, Sean.
No, don't talk your liberal bullshit with me, dude.
I'm just going to ask you a question.
It's not just Sean. Just relax, dude.
Jesus Christ, dude.
No, because you want to admit that it was wrong for Biden to come out and say you
I
can
was
do
just
that.
going to ask you a question, Sean. Jesus fuck. Still out, dude.
It's just annoying. You guys,
Christ on a cracker. You are so worked up.
How are
You've been in here for 14 seconds, Sean.
Go on, take a deep breath.
Out.
I want to know how conservatives are.
Jesus Christ, Sean.
I
actually
lay
off
John.
Lay
hold
off
on
the amphetamines, Sean.
John, hold on 1 second and let him just ask you a question. Jesus.
Have you advocated for Putin to withdraw from Ukraine?
Absolutely.
When?
I that's my position on it. I think the war shouldn't be happening at all.
Bullshit.
Sure.
That's not Sean. Last time you were up here, we talked this. You didn't say you wanted to. You said, why should he?
No, I said that. Why shouldn't he have? What is the why?
So you were opposed to him aggressing upon Ukraine? That was your original stance?
He didn't break the Budapest memorandum by doing that.
How did he not violate the Budapest memorandum by invading Ukraine?
It doesn't. It's not a violation. If you
that's wrong. Yes, it is.
It literally says. It literally says in the Budapest memorandum that Russia would not aggress against Ukraine.
No, with nuclear, with a threat of nuclear, with the threat of nuclear. The verbiage is there.
And since he's invaded Ukraine, he has threatened to use nuclear weapons.
After they did the long-range missiles.
No, before that, you
Not true.
absolute toenail.
Yeah, he's been threatening nuclear deployment since the beginning of the war. Since 2014, since they annexed Crimea.
You're gonna have to pull up your source on that. I don't believe it.
What?
I know you don't believe it.
He's been threatening nuclear deployment this entire time. This is absurd.
Okay, I answered your question.
What's the justification for further aggressing upon Ukraine? Like, what's the legitimate justification?
They shouldn't have fucked around with NATO.
What's the formal treaty that says NATO can't move eastward?
Well,
what's the treaty?
It's not in the memorandum. But
What's the formal treaty? What's the formal treaty? What's the formal treaty that states that Ukraine can't join NATO?
It's an annexation of.
No, there is no formal treaty.
No, there is no formal agreement saying that a nation cannot join NATO.
Okay, well, why won't they let Russia join NATO?
Because Russia has never formally requested to join NATO.
That's a lie.
Okay.
That's a straight up fucking lie. They've requested numerous times in the 90s.
Sure. Cool story.
Every time.
Sean, what's the formal agreement that says Ukraine can't join NATO? I want to know the name.
You already asked that, dude. I don't know the answer to that. But
there isn't one.
Okay.
And Russia has not formally asked to join NATO.
Can I ask you a question? What you
is it going to be a smart question?
You made it's something about a statement you made before it came up.
Oh, cool.
You guys made the statement that the Republicans are subject to misinformation and Russian disinformation. How are they manipulating the Republicans? Tell me, because you can't even
easy. The Russian Kremlin was paying millions of dollars to right-wing YouTube pundits to spread information that they were providing.
Oh, like the Hillary
to undermine the relationship between the United States and Ukraine.
Like the Hillary Clinton
you wanted to respond, Fox Rose, whatever. You need to change your name to something you can be, because it's hard to say. What are you based? Go ahead.
Base is fine. As far as misinformation goes, I think the example of Tenet Media is a perfect one. I mean, Tim Pool was getting like $40 million a year, some ludicrous amount of money.
He got a $1 million signing bonus, $1 million per month.
Yeah, Dave Rubin making like thousands of dollars on like 400 view videos. Like, yeah, that's like so direct.
Are they getting paid directly from Russia?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, it was through a shell company.
For that because
it was through a shell company. But here's the thing, right? That's one example. Why? Because the right is just more, typically more vulnerable to misinformation because of lack of education.
So people getting paid by the Hillary Clinton Foundation isn't the same fucking thing.
Who?
How about like Ethan Baum and Priscilla and those guys admit they openly admit
what the fuck are you actually believe that,
bro? Why would somebody?
So let me explain something to you. If you actually believe it, if you think that the Hillary Clinton Foundation is paying people on social media, you're literally too deluded to even have a conversation with. But no, that's not actually happening. But there was an indictment to substantiate what we're saying right now about like Tim Pool and other political influencers being paid to undermine the relationship between the United States and Ukraine. Like, we can substantiate it with a criminal indictment, right? So
basically, you're the one brainwashed. You can't even admit that they're laundering money through the fucking Ukraine war. All that money's coming right back to the fucking war machine. They send them money.
Do you have proof of any of these things, or is this just your feelings?
No, this is happening.
It's 100% his feelings.
Show me. If you were to provide me evidence
money,
right
Adam,
now,
you're not dumb. Follow the money.
No, provide me evidence.
Sean, Sean's got big feelings about this.
Yeah, wait, Sean,
I got big
follow the money,
everything, bro. I got big everything.
Yeah, Sean, how should I follow the money? Just explain the process and where you get to with it.
Okay, well, first thing you do is you figure out all our tax dollars that are going over to Ukraine. What are they spending the money on? They're spending the money on war, or they're sending goods in favor of the money, in place of the money. So valued objects, like
Which stimulates American jobs and lets our military update our, weapons and gear and stuff.
Bro,
So
we are
it
so
does.
in debt. It's not even funny. The fact that you can sit here with a straight face, this just tells me you have TDS. You have TDS so bad that you're willing to. You spent.
Trump is totally incompetent.
Like 3 years
He's-
on here just
he's
talking about.
incompetent. He's incompetent. He's not capable of successfully governing. He has no clue like what to do geopolitically. His domestic policies are an utter failure. I mean, he's a joke. I mean, literally, like
Don,
he's the worst president.
I gotta hand it to you. That was a masterful pivot away from the question.
Yeah,
that was brilliant.
Talking points.
That was. I can tell you exactly how to find the money. But oh my God, you guys are obsessed with Donald Trump. That was brilliant.
But here's the thing, everybody. Listen, this is the most important part. Republicans were told that there was a formal treaty that prevented Ukraine from joining NATO, right? So they believed that there was a violation of a formal treaty justifying the war in Ukraine. They believe also, watch, Sean, is there bioweapons production in Ukraine? Biolabs that are producing bioweapons?
You have zero fucking evidence and proof that it was just research.
No, I absolutely do. 100%. The U.S.
Well,
Department
show
of
it.
Defense.
Put it on the fucking screen.
Do you
then.
consider
You
the
have a lot
Department
shit
of
to
Defense
say,
more
but
credible
you don't show
than
any fucking
Kremlin?
receipts. You're all talking points, bro. You act like you know what's going on in Russia, but nobody can know what's going on in Russia unless you're in Russia.
You're right, because we're talking about Ukraine, dipshit.
I understand who we're fucking talking about.
Then why are you talking about what's going on in Russia? We're talking
Because
about
the
Ukraine,
reason why
dipshit.
Russia went into Ukraine, you'll never fucking know the truth.
So is the Pentagon a more credible source than the Kremlin?
Hell no.
There you
Hell
go.
no.
No.
There you go.
There you go.
That's all you need to know. There has been. So here's the thing: we don't have to prove. Hold on, we don't have to prove. So first of all, like it's for studying like pathogens, and it's actually been debunked multiple times. But if you're making the claim that there's bioweapons production, you then have the burden of proof and have to prove that there's bioweapons production. Do you have any evidence?
I just got done saying that I have no idea what's going on over there.
Right.
Zero.
You have no idea what's going on over there. And because of that, you can say maybe they are doing this. I don't know. I'm just asking
You don't know
questions.
what's going on over there either.
That's a really juvenile way to go about geopolitical situations.
You're
Is,
guessing.
I don't know
You're
what's
guessing
going on
based off
over
of
there
your
really.
politics.
You don't know what's going on over there really. So all I'm doing is asking questions. Maybe they are decapitating pigeons and turning them into drones. I don't know. You don't know that either.
But we do know that the Pentagon confirmed that these were for public health and disease, these labs, and they weren't for bioweapons production. And I believe the Pentagon over the Kremlin. So, like, I'm not going to dispute that the United States is lying and that there is bioweapons production, especially considering Russia has not proven, like, they've given no evidence that there was bioweapons production, just like they've given no evidence that the country needed denazification, that Nazis had infiltrated their government with a Jewish president who was democratically elected and received over 73% of the vote. Everything Russia has said is propaganda. You guys fall for it every time. There's a reason they target the right. It's not a coincidence. They target the right
They're
for
not targeting the right.
They
just like the
absolutely
same
are.
reason Donald Trump targeted the right. Easier to fool, easier to
They
manipulate.
absolutely are. You know what I do know, Sean? Do you want to know what I do know?
And we're big bad man too.
Here's
Because
what I
we
do
went
know,
into-
Sean.
We went into the Middle East under the premise, and went after Saddam Hussein under the premise of weapons of mass destruction. And there wasn't there. We went there for the oil. So our fucking government's
Did you
dirty
hear
as
that,
fuck.
Matt? He's pivoting to Iraq.
I know. I know. I'm going to
making a
bring it back
fucking
around.
point.
Hey, Sean.
You're going to take the word of people who lied to us before.
Sean,
stop.
Do you know what I do know? I do know that Russia violated the sanctity of Ukrainian sovereignty when they invaded their country.
Okay. I don't consider it an invasion. You know what I do consider an invasion? The southern border.
Wow.
The southern border. That's an invasion.
There it is. Pivot away,
Wait,
Sean.
that's perfect though.
Pivot away.
Did you already
Pivot
just
away.
said he
You're gonna
doesn't
say they're
consider
not armed.
invading? So wait, Sean, right? You considered the southern border an invasion. Can you tell me what geopolitical entity is invading at the southern border? Because an invasion would be done by
There's too many to fucking
an
name.
invasion. Hold on.
China?
Hold on. China. So China's invading the United States at the southern border.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they're crossing illegally. Military.
Wow. Can you provide evidence of that, please?
You can just fucking watch it on the fucking left-wing news too.
So he doesn't know what geopolitical entity. That would be a military operation if it was actually an invasion, but doesn't believe the invasion of a sovereign nation is an invasion. Just the
John knows that China is invading the United States through the southern border, but the Pentagon doesn't.
Right, exactly.
Oh, exactly. That's what you're right. They're acting like there's not an invasion. That's why you need to be
because there isn't.
Oh, there isn't. Okay.
There's not an invasion by any kind of, like, you're saying China for the doing what? For the purpose of what?
What do you mean for the purpose of what? They're buying up all our land. They're doing everything they can to step on our neck.
Yeah, this is not real. It's just not. It's just not. So they're waiting for Donald Trump to get in office, who's going to conduct the largest deportation operation in American history in order to execute this plan, not while it's under the administration you claim is gullible and not paying attention and weak and like they're going to do it under the administration that's going to go after them, not under the administration you claim is weak. That makes sense also. How much longer are they going to wait? They got what, a couple months left?
They're probably going to either wait or they're going to do it beforehand and make sure that Trump doesn't get in office, because there are certain situations where the transfer of power won't happen if we're.
You want to know something so adorable? This Republican in chat, Snowbird, wrote, "Wrong, Adam. You are lose." Since we always call out, they don't understand using contractions like you are apostrophe. So she wrote, "Wrong, Adam. You are lose." Oh, that's adorable. Back to bed.
Man,
Sean, listen. Sean, how do you think the soldiers who stormed the beaches of Normandy for the purpose of liberating Europe would feel about people like you who are bootlicking for a murderous authoritarian dictator who has committed multiple war crimes in Ukraine, unaliving civilians, execution style, hands tied behind their back, blindfolded, essaying children, essaying women, committing ethnic cleansing, conspired with Bashar al-Assad to drop chemical weapons on children in Syria, unalives members of the media, unalives political opposition in Navalny, people like that. You're up here defending that individual. How do you think the soldiers who stormed the beaches of Normandy to liberate Europe from fascism would feel about people like you?
Well, I would say that they would be more on my side because they could see through the mist.
You are out of your fucking mind, Sean.
I got a question.
You're
for
getting
Sean.
all your information from your fucking from the people that we're paying.
This is what they think. They fall
think
for
that
this
they're gonna
idea
be
that
like, oh,
we all sit down on, because this is what they do, right?
You
They
didn't
get their
really do
marching
anything
orders.
wrong. No,
They get
they're
their
gonna-
marching orders from Fox News. So they think that we all sit in front of. They think we all sit in front of MSNBC and wait for our marching orders like they do. We don't do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just believe whatever your fucking left wing media tells you.
Okay, which part? Give me an example.
Everything you're saying, they talk about on like.
We're using government sources. Like, yes, we believe the Pentagon over the Kremlin, Sean. Yes.
Yeah, the Pentagon's shaking in their fucking boots right now because half of them are about to get fucking fired. Because they're dirty as shit.
And that's something to brag about too. Purging the fucking military. That's something to brag about.
Yeah, absolutely. They did the same thing with Trump's.
They did the same thing during the Third Reich, and yeah, we have a million historical references as to when that happened.
You said,
it's bad.
You said the Biden administration purged the military of Trump. What?
All of Trump's appointees, and all of his executive orders, everything they purged.
Wait a minute. His appointees? Yeah.
I'm talking about like his.
So by that definition, hold on. by that definition, Donald Trump purged the government of all of Barack Obama's appointees also.
Okay, so that's what that's the fucking cycle.
Appointees are not generals in the military, you donut.
Okay, what happened to General Flynn?
General Flynn was found guilty of colluding with Russia.
Okay, by who?
In a court of law, by a jury of his peers.
Under what administration?
Whoever just sent those subs, thank you. I appreciate you. I didn't see that. General Flynn.
Now you got some fucking cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs doesn't know what fucking gender they are.
No, the General Flynn comment was wild.
Jesus Christ, dude.
I don't know if
Sean.
she's a dude or a fucking girl. I don't know
Sean.
what the fuck she is.
Sean, let me ask you a question. The tinfoil that you make your hat out of, is that like Dollar Tree or Target tinfoil?
What the fuck are you talking about, dude?
Man, it's next level indoctrination. But I talk to these people all the time.
Bro. You're indoctrinated.
He pivoted away from the question, though, about
You're the one
explaining, like,
bro.
following the money.
So you think that more people are dumb than in America? They voted for Donald Trump and outpouring numbers. You think that they're dumber?
The average American is economically illiterate and can't handle like an inflationary environment.
What year did you graduate?
What?
What year did you graduate? Are you a Gen X, Gen Z?
I'm Gen Z, but like which graduation are you asking
because you know what? You've been indoctrinated by the school system. That's why we're getting rid of it.
Coke and seed, my friend.
Oh, God, this is just too rich.
Sean, do you have kids?
It's all going to be fixed, and it's all right. If you need to go to a retrainment camp or something, we'll put you there. It's okay.
No, Sean, do you have kids?
I have 2 kids.
Can they talk to you?
I have an 18-year-old daughter graduating high school this year. I talk to her every day, and I have a 9-year-old son.
All right. Yeah. Good luck with the daughter.
She's a cheerleader. She used to be a liberal, and then I showed her the truth. And
she's dumb. I'm sorry.
No, she's not. She realizes that the teachers are there. There's a mission here in these school systems. If you're going to take over a country, the first thing you go after is the education. Then you go after the medical. Then you go after, if you can't do it.
Whoa, he's so close. He's so fucking close. He's so close.
No, he's okay with Trump doing it. He knows that's what Trump's goal is. He just likes that Trump's doing it. There are no
He
bad
doesn't
news, only
understand
bad
it.
targets.
He doesn't understand.
They've already done it.
He doesn't understand it. He doesn't get
Obama
it.
started this whole fucking thing.
Obama's
Obama's still pulling the strings everywhere.
Oh my God, Sean!
I'm gonna ask again about the tinfoil hat, my guy.
Sean, you notice throughout the course of this conversation, Sean hasn't provided a single source. Hasn't referenced a single source of information.
And my eyes and my brain, which you're not using.
Your eyes, okay?
You trust the government way too much.
No, Sean, I have evidence of everything that I've said so far.
Well, I'm telling you, I have a friend that is retired CIA that I talk to almost every week that comes over with and sits with my father-in-law, and he knows exactly what the fuck's going on, and we talk about it all the fucking time.
100%. This friend is lying to him. 100%. This friend was never in the CIA.
It's like MK Ultra victim.
Yeah, this never happened. This guy, it's either never happened or this friend was never in the CIA and he is pulling your leg, dude.
Okay.
So your friend comes over at night and tells you about what CIA.
I can't tell you my source because
so he tells you about classified information and you're up here revealing it to 2,300 people.
Listen, I'm just wearing a tinfoil hat, bro.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's how I know it's not true. Guys, we have a subwave going on. I appreciate completing the subwave. Tap the screen, share the live. If you guys would like to contribute, you can on Venmo. Venmo's Adam Cray Politics. Sean, listen, you're completely indoctrinated, man. I don't think you can be saved.
No, you are. You're the young...
I don't think you can be saved. Sean, here's the thing. I don't have to convince you anymore, right? Like,
all right.
My goal originally before the election, my goal originally before the election was, of course, to attempt to convince you, Nahran. So my goal originally, of course, is to attempt to convince you. Right? To convince you to not vote for Donald Trump. But now we're at the point where you're in your find out era, right? So now the harmful policy gets implemented and then you suffer the consequences. And then maybe you see, maybe you don't. I don't know. I'm sure deep down you will. Everyone's going to feel this administration. And whether you admit it, it's going to be about whether you admit it or not, truthfully. You know, that's the shining light here. Trump is going to absolutely decimate the Republican Party. Aaron, thank you for the 10 gift. That I appreciate it. Unfortunately, many people are going to be hurt in the process, but Base, thanks for coming on, man. Appreciate you.
Oh yeah.
Thanks, man. Take care.
You too.
If you're looking for one, you know, if you're looking for a you know, a little bit of a silver lining, basically, you know.
Hey, Adam, I know the guy that he's talking about, and that guy didn't say that.
Wait, what?
I said I know the guy that Sean was talking about, and he didn't say that.
He's talking about someone in his personal life, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. But that's the thing, right? Is like everybody can say, "Oh, I have a friend that comes over that works for the CIA." Yeah, I knew Buzz Aldrin too.
Oh yeah, yeah. He's Tony. What's going on?
Hey, how's it going?
Tony, who'd you vote for?
Trump.
Tony, what do you think about my background?
Yeah, I'm not in favor of all that.
Okay.
I don't know that really happened. I want to make a couple comments on the Ukraine conversation.
Mm-hmm.
There's two things going to play. Of course, there's the Budapest Memorandum, which Russia clearly violated. There was also an agreement back in 1991, I think, with Mikhail Gorbachev, in which James Baker promised not to expand eastward, NATO eastward, for the reunification. Yeah, that's true.
It's not a formal agreement.
Not a formal agreement, no.
Right. So
but
it
was
no.
kind of like talking, okay, reunified Germany.
I want to say that this has been debunked also, but
it has.
Yeah. Am I right on that, Matt?
You're absolutely right. There was never any gentleman's agreement. There was never anything about that. NATO has a whole thing put out debunking this whole thing with receipts all the way back to the end of the Soviet Union. So
there was somebody there that said this never happened too, right?
Yes.
And
this whole idea that NATO agreed to never expand Russia. NATO is not an expansionist alliance. It's a defensive alliance.
Right.
People of their own volition and accord request to join NATO.
Right.
That's how it works.
There was an agreement, but
there wasn't.
No.
Okay, well, let's say there wasn't.
It's not a formal agreement.
We're not deliberately expanding eastward. We're just allowing countries to come in.
But NATO's founding treaty allows for any European state to apply for membership. That's how they operate.
Exactly.
Right. So what's the problem?
So who the fuck cares joins then?
Now here's my
wait, and hold on. The second question is, why would you does Russia have veto power
over NATO?
Yeah.
No.
And what? There's no justification. What you're doing is trying to insinuate there's justification for further aggressing upon.
No. I'm pointing out that in my opinion there was one, but that I could be wrong.
Right. But that's your opinion, where you've done absolutely no research into it. You've taken a talking point that has been fed to you by the Kremlin, and you've just ran with it without any kind of research or investigation into it.
So they're basically saying that there was a meeting and there was informal assurances made.
Right.
I'm 90% sure.
But there wasn't.
I don't have it in front of me, but somebody was there and said that never happened.
I take your word for it. And but I've read about it in a number of places. But
see how he's trying to get the last word on that? No.
Yeah, I know. I've read about it, and I'll take your word on it. But I've read about it.
And that's why I brought it up.
Our word for it.
But I'm
not telling you to take our word for it. I'm telling you to go and look into it, because what you're doing is taking somebody else's word for it and being like, well, this is what I read, so this is what I'm going to believe.
Yeah.
But you're not doing any kind of, and this is why Russian propaganda has permeated into the right-wing sphere of everything, because the Kremlin and the right-wing pundits know that they can just, with authority, say something to you and you're just going to accept it.
Exactly. And regardless, if it wasn't formalized in a binding document, it wouldn't matter. So
Right.
like this is Russia's attempt to make it seem like there was an agreement without a binding document. And that's called propaganda, Tony. And you're literally
And now,
the more
let
you
me-
insinuate that it might be true, even though there's eyewitness testimony saying this never happened, there was no informal assurance made that they wouldn't move eastward, is dangerous, is the point we're trying to make.
Sure. Okay, I get that. Now, let's fast forward to where we are. This war's been going on for what, almost 3 years, just past the 1,000-day mark. And Russia did invade Ukraine.
Aaron, thank you so much, Aaron.
They were unauthorized to do so. And now Biden has done a reverse and allowed the long-range missiles to be fired inside of of Russia. And
little slip up there.
And yeah, almost
Freudian slip.
Yeah, no, I don't want the Soviet Union back.
Yeah, you do.
But you saw Putin's response, didn't you?
Yeah, and that's propaganda also. That's
the same
all
thing that he said throughout the entirety of this war.
Right, threatening nuclear deployment, which is literally Vladimir Putin's greatest weapon, which is preying on Western anxiety about nuclear deployment.
Okay, and how did Russia respond?
By firing a missile.
What kind of missile?
A missile capable of nuclear deployment with no nuclear.
With what, 7 warheads on it?
Yeah, so again, propaganda. So people like you sit up here and go, "Hey, look, guys, the West better back off. You better leave. You better allow Russia stop funding."
Are you saying that didn't happen?
No. What I'm saying is it's to prey on Western anxiety about nuclear deployment.
Right. So, Tony, let me ask you a question. So, because Russia has nuclear capabilities, we should just let them do whatever the fuck they want then?
No. And
okay,
so where's the line?
That's what he's saying, though. He's saying that they are threatening nuclear deployment as a result of authorizing these long-range missile strikes, and therefore we should turn on our own government because they are trying to start a war. That's what you're saying. I mean,
so what's the line? Where's the line, Tony? At what point do we say we just got to let Russia do whatever it wants to do?
Well, I would say no point.
Okay, so then why are you up here talking about Biden signing off saying that they can use
just
long
relax and let me talk a little bit, and maybe you'll see where I'm going. We fired the long-range missile. We got the response. So that's not good.
Has Russia been firing long-range missiles into Ukraine the whole time?
Not like that one.
Have they been firing long-range missiles into Ukraine the whole time?
I would say yes.
Okay. Were you concerned about an escalation in response when Russia was doing it?
I'm concerned about the whole thing.
Well, no.
What I'd like to ask
my
you,
specific question, Tony.
Hold
on.
Well, let me
hold on,
just finish.
Tony.
No, I'm
my
not gonna let you
specific
talk over me.
question, Tony,
No, you're not
is:
gonna
were
talk
you
over me.
this
I'm gonna make this
concerned
point.
about an escalation in response when Russia was launching long-range missiles into Ukraine?
Okay. Can I get to a point?
Yeah, no, because what you're doing is
you
Tony,
can't.
You don't know what I'm doing because you won't shut up.
Tony, we know what you're doing.
No, you do not know.
Yes, we do. Tony.
I want to ask you a question.
Okay, what's the question?
Okay. My question is this. How do you see this conflict being resolved?
Russia withdrawing all forces and troops out of Ukraine and ceding control of the territory back to the Ukrainian people.
That's our desired outcome.
That's the desired outcome. I would.
Under Donald Trump, God knows. I think it could result in surrendering territory, making this adversary more powerful and more likely to attack a NATO ally. And Poland triggers Article 5.
And my desired outcome aligns with yours. You know, the best thing can happen is Russia.
So then why are you like what you're falling for the propaganda? That's the point that we're trying to make here. And it's dangerous when you come up with this perpetuating this fear mongering, like, wow, they've always had nuclear. He's been threatening nuclear deployment forever.
Yeah, he saber rattles.
Huh?
He saber rattles all the time.
Yeah, but that's the point.
Yes.
And then people like you, Tony, come up and be like, well, we gotta back off because He's got those nukes.
And what does that do? Ultimately, that undermines the relationship between the United States and Ukraine, because now you have voters, right, believing that people like Biden are escalating tensions. Are you as upset that North Korean troops were sent to Russia? Like, are you as upset about that escalation? Are you only upset that Russia is now once again reminding the West?
Me that 30,000 troops are there.
Everyone shivers at the thought of nuclear deployment. That's the point, though, right? That's the point. But that doesn't mean that you can just strategically, you can just say, well, we're going to allow them to do what they need to do to win this war.
And your desired outcome aligns perfect with mine. I'd love Russia just to stop.
But the problem is if you don't.
But it's not going to happen.
But if you don't take, it is though. You don't take this approach. If you don't take this approach, we're more likely to go to war with Russia. That's the whole point.
Here's the issue.
Yeah, we're more likely to go to war with Russia if Russia is successful in this invasion. Agree? Disagree?
I disagree with that.
Let me ask you a question.
The issue right there,
we didn't hold this hard line in the sand in 2014 when Russia annexed Crimea, right?
No.
Because we were like, well, if we just let Russia have a little bit of this and then they stop there, then they won't go any further, right?
Right.
What happened?
They went further.
So what happens when we cede land that is Ukrainian territory to Russia this time and say, all right, we're going to give you a little bit more, but you got to promise that you're not going to go any further? What do you think's going to happen?
Well, I think the conflict's going to end.
Really? Why didn't it end in 2014?
I don't think Russia.
And I mean, we can talk about historical references, right? Europe's initial tolerance of Germany's expansion. Did it stop them? We let them take territory. We let them invade countries. Did they stop? No, they invaded more countries. They eventually invaded Russia. Right. So let's think about it here. You're tolerating their expansion. We have a million historical references as to why this is a bad idea.
Well, what I'm trying to do is have a conversation, not be confrontational.
No, what you're trying to do is spread Russian propaganda and make it seem reasonable.
Yeah.
No.
Yes.
I'm trying to figure
that is
out
exactly
how this
what you're trying to do, Tony.
In pretending as if you're a concerned American citizen, worried about nuclear deployment capabilities, when truthfully, you're just trying to blame the Biden administration for escalating tensions using Russian propaganda. That's what you're doing,
with
Tony.
a lot of Ukrainians losing their lives.
Okay, so Tony, why are you not advocating that Vladimir Putin withdraw troops immediately? Why are you just saying, well, that's
I'd love to.
Well, the United States must concede.
We're not saying
if we surrender territory, Tony, if we surrender territory and there's an agreement made, right? What stops Vladimir Putin from further aggressing upon Ukraine after the Trump administration? Let's pretend for a second they surrender territory. Russia then in turn becomes more powerful. Right? They have a strategic advantage, a resource advantage. They're more powerful than they were before the invasion. Then let's say he doesn't further aggress under the Trump administration. What do you think the likelihood is that he does after the Trump administration? What does this mean for the long-term health of the United States? Are you giving consideration for the long-term health of the United States in this decision to not surrender territory?
Well, I have not looked down the road.
Exactly. So that's the problem here. This isn't about the next year. This isn't about the next 2 years or 3 years. This is about the long-term health of the United States, depending on the long-term health of NATO. And the long-term health of NATO depends on the sovereignty of Ukraine. Period.
Okay, you and I both are in agreement that the best end game would be Russia to leave Ukraine.
Then why aren't you out here advocating for that?
Because it's not going to happen.
Why?
I'm a realist.
But what you are is a person that is easily manipulatable by Russian propaganda, thereby sowing division within the strongest ally that Ukraine has to protecting its sovereignty.
Hold on real quick. Ray, thank you so much, Ray. I appreciate you, Ray. Thank you for the Venmo, Ray. Yeah,
what I'm saying is, how do we bring this conflict to an end? We both agree the best way would be
to continue to allow Ukraine to have the capabilities.
But they're not going to leave.
Okay, so
You
I don't know if
continue
you
to
know
allow
this.
Ukraine to defend itself. Let me ask you this question,
They can't
Tony.
go forever either, by the way.
Let me ask you this question, Tony. If somebody was invading the United States of America, they were able to do it somehow. Let's just hypothetical this shit. All right. Would you agree to just ceding territory of the United States over to a foreign adversary
Yeah, I get
because
your
somebody
point.
didn't want to send you aid anymore?
Yeah, I get your point. I mean, it's apples and oranges, but
It's
I
really
get your
not.
point.
You're asking the Ukrainian people to surrender their homeland to Russia, but you're not willing to do the same thing with the United States territory.
Okay. So I'm trying to look
can-
for an
can-
end to the war. You feel
Can we
like
also just add that you're acting like Russia is this like unbeatable force? Russia has already showed significant depletion, like their resources are depleted, armored vehicles specifically, using armored
you're
vehicles.
right.
So Russia has shown signs of weakness already. Why do you think North Korean troops?
And it's kind of like the same movie we saw in Afghanistan, but how long were they in there? 10, 15 years?
That's a different circumstance, though.
I know, but I mean, it's similar in pulling out.
No, I don't think it is. I think it's a little bit different.
Literally not.
Yeah.
Okay.
Russia. I don't know how long the Russian people are going to put up with people dying and continue forward down this path before there's some kind of, like, my thought process would be at some point there would be a coup, right? Because how long are you going to tolerate Vladimir Putin's determination to recreate the Soviet Empire by absolving?
I thought so too, but they seem to be all in on
Ukraine.
this.
I don't think you can do this forever, right? So I think, of course, it's always changing, but that you need to at least, for now, continue to assist Ukraine in defending their sovereignty. It's that important, right? It's that important.
Just keep going on and on.
Well, see, part of the problem is the reason that I don't have I don't think that you're in good faith, Tony, is because the original point you made about
I'm in the best faith that you can imagine.
the original point you made about an informal assurance that there would be no eastward expansion indicates to me that you're not in good faith. Right. Like
I just mentioned that because I thought it had a bearing.
No, because what you were doing was justifying further aggressing. Right. You were trying to say that there was justification because NATO was moving eastward when there was an informal assurance made.
I think you're reading
eastward.
Yeah,
but again, that's problematic, right? That's why I don't feel you're in good faith, because I don't believe that you believe that Russia is fully at fault here. I think you think NATO.
Oh, they're 100% at fault.
Okay, so NATO bears no responsibility?
No.
Okay. Little delay in the answer there.
Why are you not out there saying that as long as the Ukrainian people are willing to defend their homeland, we will continue to support them?
If I don't know if it would end like that, but that would be great.
That's not. Nobody knows how it's going to end, Tony.
No,
my question to you is,
that's why I ask you
why are you not out here advocating? If you're so convinced that Russia is not the good guy, then why are you not out here advocating that as long as the Ukrainian people are willing to defend their homeland, we will continue to support them?
It's a good point.
Yeah,
I see that.
But that's the point is Donald Trump is not talking about the war this way, right? His refusal to admit that he wants Ukraine to win the war. In fact, Donald Trump's not even condemned the annexation of Crimea in 2014. Donald Trump does not
condemn Obama when it happened.
Why won't Donald Trump condemn Vladimir Putin?
Obama did nothing, remember?
Excuse me, but he
Obama did something.
He did nothing.
He did something. The annexation of Crimea.
What did he do?
Why has Donald Trump stopped pivoting, Tony? Why is Obama's not running for president? Obama's never going to be president again. It's irrelevant. So the point is this, Tony, why has Donald Trump refused to condemn Vladimir Putin's actions? Do you think that when you say, when is Russia going to stop? Do you think that it in any way emboldens Vladimir Putin to continue aggressing upon Ukraine? Donald Trump, now President-elect Donald Trump's unwillingness to condemn him? no matter what it is, whether it's interfering in our elections, whether it's bombing Ukrainian naval vessels in the Azov, whether it's the annexation of Crimea, no matter what it is, Donald Trump's unwillingness to condemn Vladimir Putin. Have you ever given consideration to the fact that the person that you voted for is further emboldening this murderous authoritarian dictator by refusing to condemn his actions?
I think he sees that Russia won't stop.
So do we have historical references that, refusing to condemn the actions of authoritarian dictators is not a good idea?
Yeah.
Yeah, because the United States did the same thing, right?
Yeah,
what did that result in? World War II.
Right.
Yeah, isolationism doesn't work, right? Refusing to get involved and refusing to condemn and refusing to attempt to minimize their aggression is not a successful strategy. It has not worked historically, and it will not work here. It will result in a new Soviet empire, which is bad for the United States. As we know, as we see, Vladimir Putin has no problem threatening the United States with nuclear deployment. You're on the wrong side, my friend.
Okay. And, if I had a do-over, I would not bring up any agreement. I did think there was an agreement, but I'm not trying to justify anything. Russia's 100% wrong. I'd like to see an end to it. And
why?
I really wanted to come up to ask what your thoughts were on how it would end.
I don't think that you can answer that question in good faith. What I think, if I had to take a guess, I think if we were to take the strategy of continuing to assist Ukraine the way we are now, I think that Russia would eventually have to stop. I think you would maybe see a coup. I don't know how exactly it would work out. But continuing to deplete the resources of an adversary is not a bad strategy, right? I just know the strategy we can't do, which is making them more powerful by surrendering any territory to them and emboldening them to further aggress in the future on NATO allied countries like Poland. You're not necessarily going to get a definitive answer. Like, yes, this is going to happen if we do this. We just know that this is the best.
No, but you're an intelligent guy in your military.
Yeah, I just told you, I think that there would potentially be. I don't know that people would stand for this forever. I mean, people are dying. Morale is low. They've shown signs of depleted resources. I can't tell you, though, specifically how it's going to end. I just think this is the best course of action. You can't. By the way, let me just also state, which was not stated during the course of this conversation, do you know who's paying very close attention right now to how we support Ukraine? China.
China.
Yeah. So in regards to Taiwan, right? So the world is watching this. Other murderous authoritarian dictators are watching this right now and seeing how we respond to this. I don't think it's a good idea to set the precedent that we reward territory to these authoritarians.
And when Ukraine, we allowed Ukraine to fire
sovereign nations.
And when we allowed Ukraine to fire deep into Russia and they responded, She came out and said,
Russia invaded Ukraine.
I know, but I said she came out and turned the temperature down, asked to turn the temperature down. He doesn't want this either.
Who?
Nobody wants nuclear war.
No.
Nobody wants it.
Do you know
Vladimir Putin is going to beat his chest and shake his swords and all that shit every single time he starts feeling the pressure like he is losing control of the situation.
And Putin doesn't want nuclear war either.
Yeah,
and I'll tell you why. He once made a statement that the biggest deterrent to World War III has been the advent of nuclear weapons because there's no winner.
Yeah, Tony, he also made the statement that the collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe.
Oh, yeah. He hated that.
Tony, greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century. Would you consider the Holocaust a greater geopolitical catastrophe than the collapse of the Soviet Union?
100%.
Okay. So do you think that's a ridiculous statement?
I think in his eyes, he sees it because he saw Russia shrink down to really.
No. But I'm asking you, is that an absurd statement to make? The collapse of the Soviet Union was the greatest geopolitical catastrophe of the century?
Yes.
Okay. So that kind of shows you Vladimir Putin is not a rational person. He unalives political opponents, Navalny, others. He unalives members of the media. You speak out against him, he pushes you out a window. He conspired with Bashar al-Assad to drop chemical weapons on children. So he's an unhinged, murderous dictator. I don't think that he is a rational man, okay? I think power is very important to him.
And I think his ultimate fantasy is a reconstitution of the Soviet Union, which won't happen. But I mainly wanted your opinion on how you think would be the best way to proceed.
Yeah, I think
I'll tell you exactly how I think the best way to proceed is. As long as the Ukrainian people have the will and desire to defend their homeland, we continue to support them.
Yeah, I would agree with that strategy.
Right. And you see Trump as brokering a deal where they cede land.
I see Trump as brokering a deal that is going to be beneficial to Vladimir Putin.
Right. That's what I meant.
Yeah, I think that's the most likely.
Land. Yes.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think Donald Trump understands geopolitics. I don't think Donald Trump understands, but I also don't think Donald Trump cares about the long-term health of the United States. I think he thinks about it in a 4-year window. As long as within this 4 years this doesn't happen, then that's all. I don't think Donald Trump cares if there's nuclear warfare 10, 12 years from now. He cares about within a 4-year. I really, truly believe Donald Trump does not care about the long-term health of the United States. So, and I think that's part of the problem. Just like he doesn't care about the long-term health of the Republican Party, Trump cares about Trump. Within my 4 years, can I stop this war from happening? Well, I can by surrendering territory. But what does that mean long-term for the health of NATO and the health of the United States? It's not anything good, ladies and gentlemen. It maybe doesn't mean nuclear war under Donald Trump, but it could mean World War III under another administration. Unfortunately, that's why it's important that we minimize their aggression. We don't want to make them any more powerful than they already are. And they're proving the point by constantly threatening nuclear deployment. So the answers are there. But if you listen to Russian propaganda, then you fall for it.
Well, and he's been, saber rattling for years. And I think.
But that's the point, Tony.
I think he's people have kind of tuned that out.
No, they haven't, because you're up here making the point that we need to de-escalate it because he's saber rattling.
I'm up here asking you, how do you think it will end?
No.
And you're angry.
That's what you're asking now.
Your moniker
that's what you're asking now,
Your
Tony.
moniker is accurate.
Tony, that's what you're asking now.
I mean,
that's what you're asking now.
I don't even.
But 10 minutes ago, Tony, 10 minutes ago, you were saying, well, we launched deep long-range missiles into Russia, and they sent this back. This isn't good. We need to come up with something. You're feeding into the propaganda that is being sent forth from Russia to the United States for this purpose.
For this purpose. And you insinuated that when I made a statement about there being no formal treaty, that there was a formal treaty, which is concerning.
Yeah, and I was wrong on that.
Or an informal assurance, not a formal treaty. But regardless, it doesn't matter.
And Adam, let me just make it clear that I do want exactly what you want. I want Russia to stop and go home. Personally, I don't think it's going to happen.
So how come Donald Trump, the person you're voting for, doesn't say that?
I think he sees the same thing I see.
Why doesn't he tell them to go home? Why does he say, I just want the war to stop? Why does he not tell them to leave?
I think he knows they won't.
No. Why does he not put his foot down and say, I want Russia to leave? That's how we resolve this conflict.
Do you think Russia will leave?
That's not the point.
That's not the point, Tony.
He's emboldening him to continue.
It's not.
Understand that Donald Trump's authority, right? He's the president-elect, right? Do you think it emboldens Vladimir Putin when Donald Trump, who's now going to be the president of the United States, is not condemning his actions?
Okay, let me
answer the question. V, thank you so much for the galaxy. Do you think that it emboldens him when he refuses to condemn his actions? Do you think it in any way emboldens this authoritarian to continue to aggress upon Ukraine, to continue to threaten nuclear deployment, to continue
what he wants, the warm water
when the incoming president of the United States will not even condemn his interference in our elections?
I don't know that I've heard Biden condemn.
What?
I mean, he said
you haven't heard Biden condemn Putin's interference? He's done it multiple times. He's said everything he needs to say. So I don't know if you don't pay attention, but Biden's done it several times, dude. Several fucking times.
He's
But
also
yet he didn't
condemned
authorize
Russia
its
and Vladimir
use of-
Putin for their invasion of Ukraine.
Yet he did not authorize the firing of long-range missiles into Russia until
Why
what?
are you so hung up on this, Tony?
Trying to see how this thing ends.
So wait, you think no. So you wait. What? Why would he do it at that time? So do you think North Korean troops being sent to Russia was an escalation?
I think it's a sign that Russia needs troops.
You think it's an escalation?
I don't know about an escalation.
Oh my God! Well, there's your answer, everybody.
But
he just said North Korean troops going to Russia is not an escalation. Holy shit!
Wait a minute.
No, I'm not waiting.
Never let me
Tony.
finish
You're
my
not in good
statement.
faith. You're not in good faith, Tony. Right?
I am in very good faith.
No, you're
And
not.
what I'm saying is, I don't know what the state of the Russian army is. I think they need it. So I
Doesn't
don't know
matter. Doesn't matter. It's still an escalation.
It's a replenishing.
Oh my God. Tony won't admit that North Korean troops going to Russia is an escalation, but we're supposed to believe that Tony is on our side here.
Tony, when foreign troops come in to bolster your ranks, that is 100% an escalation of the conflict.
Especially Matt from another authoritarian.
It's
especially
the
Matt
same
from,
fucking thing, Tony.
Yeah, and Tony, it's also not just coming from another foreign. It's coming from a country that has also threatened the United States and the West continuously with nuclear deployment. Also hates the United States, an adversary. So it's not just a random country. It's also a country that we deem a threat to the United States. Sending troops to another country we deem a threat to the West and the United States. But that's not a
You
threat.
asked me
Everybody.
if it was bolstering. I said it might be bolstering.
No,
Could
I
be
asked you, is it
replenishing.
an escalation?
Escalation. And
I asked you, is it an escalation of the conflict for North Korea to send troops to Russia? Yes or no?
I don't know if it is. Because
Oh my God.
Well, wait a minute. Gosh, you just won't shut
No,
up.
you're a
You guys are
disingenuous
really
Muppet.
ate up with this.
You're a disingenuous
this
Muppet. You're starting
left-
to piss me off now.
You're the typical leftist.
Tony,
Here it
Like
is. It's starting to
all-
come out, Matt. You see?
Shut
Yeah,
up.
I know. The typical
up.
left, blah, blah, blah.
You're
Hey,
the
Tony,
typical.
shut up.
You're the
Tony,
typical
you shut
left.
up.
Tony,
You shut
up. You
Tony,
shut up.
Tony, real quick. Yes or no? As long as the Ukrainian people have the will and desire to defend their homelands, we should support them.
Let's see if you can unmute goof. Tell me to shut up.
Yes or no?
All Trump supporters are
No,
uneducated
hey, Tony,
idiots.
Tony,
76
yes or no?
million of us are garbage.
Tony, yes or no? As long as the Ukrainian people have the will and desire to defend their homeland, we should support them.
I think you're right.
Then shut the fuck up, Tony.
Yeah, seriously.
Okay, I'll be glad to.
Yeah, Tony, you're a goof. I
But let me
want you to
just
know that.
point out one thing to you.
You're a
Adam.
goof.
Take
Yeah,
it,
Point
take
it out.
Take
Point it
it
out.
for what it's worth.
All right,
and
go
please
ahead.
listen. Don't fall into
Nobody gives a shit. There's a sock for your big, loud, wrong mouth. Muppet. I'm going to listen to some Republican fucking.
Let me just
Yeah, right.
recap what just happened here. I asked Tony, do you think as long as the Ukrainian people have the will and desire to defend their homeland that we should keep supporting them? He went, yes. But let me put this out there.
Yeah.
So shut
Which
the fuck
is-
up, Tony.
But he's also, and I think he does understand, but also like how dangerous it is to push this propaganda is the problem, right? The stuff that's being said, like, oh, there was an informal assurance made that they wouldn't move eastward. And it's like, oh, I didn't know that. Okay. Well, and then right before he would ask the next question, you go, but I did read that in multiple credible places. And then he try and move on to the next. Right. Because he wants to perpetuate that these ideas are true, even though he knows they're not. Right.
Yeah.
Tony, by the way, you're probably a bigot. I'm confident in saying you're probably a bigot too. Just saying.
100%.
And can I just point out to everybody else, I don't know as much as Adam and Matt here in regards to this. So did y'all see what I did though? Sat quietly. I learned, I educated myself and everything. Wasn't just arguing to argue for fuck's sake and everything. Tony, you need to listen to people.
Well, Tony also wants like an answer. So like this is this disingenuous argument Republicans make. Okay, well, can you tell me how you think it ends? As if we're supposed to have an answer, like specifically, how does it end? Did you think that would have been a legitimate answer when Russia or when the Reich was expanding across Europe? Like, no, we don't know exactly how it ends, right? You approach this the best way you possibly can, which is to minimize their aggression. Vladimir Putin's not the good guy, and there's an effort by the right to make him seem like a sympathetic figure, and he's not.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Tony. I'll give you a guess on how this ends after I consult my tea leaves and my Nostradamus predictions, and we'll figure out how this all comes to a close. All right.
We can say this though: it is more likely, right? Like confidently, just based off a number of different factors, right? And most of them historical references and how these things typically go and the actions of Vladimir Putin and other circumstances, that if we allow him to become more powerful, that we probably end up in a war with him at some point. And he's openly stated, like I quoted him, 2005, talking about the collapse of the Soviet Union. I can talk about other things he said, that he wants to recreate the Soviet Union. That's not good for the United States. Like, that's bad for the United States. Russia becoming more powerful is bad for the United States, period. That's all there is to it. We are more likely to end up in some kind of a conflict. It is likely they attack Poland or another country, likely Poland, if we do not minimize their aggression. That's just based off a number of different factors. Can we definitively say this is going to happen or this is going to happen? No, you can't. It would be impossible to do that. That's why it's a disingenuous question. So, Tony, would you like to give a closing statement?
I would.
Okay. So what's your closing statement?
Okay. My closing statement is this. You have good points.
Nobody cares. Have a good day.
I'm praying real hard for some divine intervention on what the future holds, Tony. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm
Why are you praying to yourself, Matt?
My advice to Tony, like truthfully, like if I was going to give him any advice and he wanted to do better, like in terms of, understand the harm of perpetuating some of these talking points. Like, it may seem innocent that you're pushing the idea that there was an informal assurance, but for people listening, they may then think that Vladimir Putin has justification because of NATO, right? That's dangerous stuff. Like, that's not okay to just say that kind of stuff. It's not innocent. Oh, I'm just inquiring whether or not, well, number one, it wasn't a binding document anyway, so it wouldn't have mattered. But like just the idea that there may have been, and also just so you know, guys, that comes from the Kremlin. That comes from Russia. This guy literally made a name, Adam Cries 33. You actually went and made a name, Adam Cries 33, and you think you're winning?
Oh, he's a fan.
That's fucking.
That is a fan.
That's dedication. That really is. Yes. TK, what's going on?
Yeah, just with this. I don't understand why you are talking about the Ukraine thing, because you're on the deportation stuff.
Because it's a topic that came up in the live and we have been discussing. You think because this background's on, like it's the law that I must now talk only about deportation? Like,
well, no, I just wanted to jump up here to tell you that Trump won. Quit your fucking crying, you fat bitch.
Wow, that's profound. Is that all you got?
That's all I have.
Fucking devastated.
Guys, I think I'm gonna quit now.
I gotta delete my TikTok account. I'm fucking devastated.
TK Hawk can't even figure out how to leave the box. He turned his fucking phone off. Major L. He turned his phone off. Trump won.
I don't even think that's the first time I've been told that today.
Yeah, it's not. That's like on a scale of 2 out of 10 from what people have said to me today. Jeez.
I was gonna say, at least get a little more creative about it.
Yeah, like at least make me laugh.
At least come up and call me stolen valor if you're gonna try and say something, please. All right.
I'm not gonna call you stolen valor because they don't think it's USMC. They think it's US
McAngry.
DA24, what's going on?
How's it going? Apologies for that last guy. I don't know what the I voted for Trump, but obviously don't support people like that. So apologies that there are people like that exist on this platform.
I would say that I hate to say this though, DA, like that's a large portion of your voter base that supports that kind of.
That's the majority.
So that's not true, but we could disagree on that for sure.
I mean, who do you think talks to more voters? Like, do you think you talk to more voters than me?
I mean, on this platform, probably not.
No, there's nowhere. I talk to thousands of people.
Okay.
There's zero chance you talk to more voters about politics than I do. And I can tell you that regularly Trump supporters regurgitate this exact same thing.
So, like, regularly Trump supporters call you a I understand on this platform, yes, like those people exist on this platform. The last guy I was talking about.
I will be honest with you, D. I did think you were talking about the Ukraine thing more than I already forgot. I actually forgot about.
No.
That's how often they say that to me. But go ahead. What's up?
Look, I guess from the banner up top, I do agree with. Deportation needed. The program itself, in regards to illegal immigration, not talking about immigrants that are, here legally, but we do need to address it as a problem. I mean, obviously, we can both agree that it is a problem, correct?
I can agree that the immigration system is outdated and needs to be revamped.
Yeah, I don't think anything justifies mass deportation, though.
Yeah, I mean, it's you can look at the reports, right? And the overall number, we'll kind of see what happens. But, just from the reports they gave out, we know that the most famous case probably right now, in the country.
Here it comes.
Is the Lake and Riley case. Right? There shouldn't be a reason. There shouldn't be a reason why that individual
Can I ask a question about that?
Yeah.
Sure,
Before you do, can I
absolutely.
just state something for the record? Because this is so important that I state this. Number one, their family has asked that you guys please stop using her name as a political talking point. So I just want to let you know.
Just to prove the point,
to stop doing that.
Just to prove the point real quick.
No, you can respond. It's already been said. But
if she had been unalived by an American citizen, would you know her name?
If it was a situation that the news reported on it, yeah. I mean, he would know. He would go through the court cases.
If she was somebody that was unalived by an American citizen, would you know her name?
It honestly depends. It depends, right? For me, yes, I would, because it's close proximity to where I'm at. So yeah, I would know in that situation. Yes.
Cool. What's my son's name then?
Others may not. Others may not. But again, it doesn't take away from the fact that this is one case of multiple that are happening, right? 13,000
let me just establish something. So when it comes to this specific amount of crime, the point is that if you want to lower the rate of homicide, right, or sexual assault, things like that, the thing is your target would not be undocumented immigrants, because they're committing crime at 1/4 the rate of American-born citizens, specifically related to violent crime. So the fact that you're bringing this up as a justification to demonize, can you not interrupt me? The fact that you're bringing this. The fact that you're bringing this up for the purpose of demonizing an entire population of people and then justifying a deportation operation is the problem, as they are not committing that crime, specifically violent crime, at the rate anywhere near an American-born citizen. In fact, if you wanted to lower the rate of homicide and sexual assault, you'd be focusing on white Christian men. So this is why I find it quite disingenuous. I don't believe that you actually care about the rate of homicide or sexual assault. I think that you just want to demonize. You want to use these incidents to demonize an entire population. Look, why do you think when Republicans try and prove their point, chat, right? Why do you think when Republicans are trying to prove a point when it comes to undocumented immigration, right? And they're saying that I want to justify demonizing and deporting these people. Why do you think they don't cite statistics? Why do you think they don't provide data? Why do you think that guys like DA24 don't come up and tell me the number of undocumented immigrants that are committing violent crime every single year? They bring up names like Lake and Riley because the data does not support the point. The data doesn't support.
That's not true.
It does. Are undocumented immigrants committing crime at anywhere near the rate of American-born citizens?
Again, but the difference between
answer my question, please. Are undocumented immigrants committing crime, specifically violent crime, at the rate anywhere near American-born citizens?
In total numbers, or in
the rate? Again, it's a very straightforward question. Are undocumented immigrants committing crime at a rate anywhere near American-born citizens? Yes or no?
No, because the number of
and it has been
immigrants,
that case for the last.
No, because that's not based in good faith, though, and you know that, right? That's you cherry picking what stat you want to use.
DA, I'm going to tell you why that number is based in good faith, because that's not a number based on the overall population. That's a per capita rate.
Right, but the difference between the two that we're talking about is one is a U.S. citizen that obviously will see the court of law and go through the process and be held accountable for their actions.
Undocumented immigrants, the person who just unalived Blake and Riley, did they go to court?
I was going to say the same thing.
In that instance, yes, correct.
Excuse me, hold on, let me just prove a point here. Did they just go to court?
Yes, they did.
And do undocumented immigrants have constitutional rights to due process?
Sure.
Okay, so they see a courtroom. They're criminally prosecuted.
Right.
Also, let me ask you. No, hang on,
so in that instance, they do. But yeah, are we going to act like the catch and release doesn't exist?
They do.
No, it is. Are we going to act like the catch and release doesn't exist? Are we going to act like that person in this situation that we're talking about didn't already commit? Hold on a second. Are we going to act like the person that we're talking about didn't commit a crime prior to being then let out and then committing this other crime as well?
He committed this was due to illegally crossing the border.
It's incredibly disingenuous and weird.
He did not. What crime did he commit?
No, it's incredibly disingenuous and weird for you to be lobbying for an unaliver.
What crime did he commit?
You're literally lobbying.
I'm not supporting an unaliver. You just insinuated he committed another felony, was released. That's not what happened. Okay, this was due to his immigration status. It had nothing to do with him committing he didn't hurt someone else and then was released. Nice try. Go ahead.
He committed a misdemeanor in New York.
Nice fucking lie. Go ahead.
Here's what I want to say to DA and everybody like him. And I'm asking you this question, DA. Where, and this is what Adam and Matt have been alluding to for like 10 minutes, where can you justify to me that there is a high enough priority to the American people that we should commit our time, energy, and resources to this mass deportation program over a mass everybody have health care program, over a mass fix our education system program, over a mass stop kids from getting shot in school program? Why are we dedicating and making this the number one priority? The incoming president of the United States has said on day one he will begin this program. He also said there is no cost that is too big to implement this program. He has said that this is his priority day one. Where is the justification for the resources and time and focus from the highest level of governments to justify that? Go.
Yeah, and the constitutional consequences, due process, Fourth Amendment, 14th Amendment complications. Like, I mean, seriously, what the fuck? The DA wouldn't be able to tell you how you could successfully conduct this deportation operation.
Nor can he justify it.
He would not be able, not only would he not be able to justify it, he wouldn't be able to tell you how you can successfully do it without infringing on people's constitutional rights. You fucking can't.
It's impossible because we already, here's what else these guys don't understand. We already deport people that aren't supposed to be here, which is why so many people were deported under Biden and Obama, and they love to bring it up. Yeah. So it's because we already deport you if you're not supposed to be here. So if we're going to conduct a mass deportation, then we're going to do what? Continue deporting the people that we're already deporting, just what, all in 1 week or something? No, they're going to target people that are here legally. They're going to target DACA. They're going to target people that may be in the process on the current path to citizenship and aren't there yet. They're going to target people that do not need to be targeted with any kind of deportation program, because that's the only way you can do a mass deportation, because the people who should actually be deported, it's already happening.
Right.
And can we be honest? Stop using Laken Riley's fucking name.
Please.
Push your stupid ass political fucking argument.
And remember, Donald Trump's assistant chief of staff of policy, fucking Stephen Miller, has said that the Office of Deportation or Denaturalization is about to get ramped up.
Damn.
So this whole idea that it's just going to be undocumented or people that are here illegally makes no fucking sense, because the Office of Denaturalization that was established under Donald Trump's previous administration is about to get ramped up again, because that's what his chief of staff for policy has said they're going to do. So even if you are a naturalized citizen, if there's anything in your record that they could use to justify stripping you of your citizenship and sending you away, they're going to.
And Matt, if you or I or Adam or anybody who else has half a brain starts putting the puzzle pieces together, you're trying to put the military in the street, you want to purge generals with a board, you want to give police immunity, you're using mass deportation as we start putting these puzzle pieces together and say, hey, wait a minute, I think you're just using this as a way to establish martial law light to begin then turning the military against that enemy within that you talked about during your campaign. And you're just trying to have some purified Aryan race here. If we start saying that, you're like, oh, you're conspiracy theorists, fear mongers, even though this is the most obvious common sense equation since the 1930s.
And I've been trying to talk to Trump supporters. If you're not a Trump supporter, please hop out of the guest box.
And let's not forget that Texas recently has told the incoming president that they've got thousands of acres of land that they would be willing to give over to his administration to set up deportation camps.
And I spoke with retired.
Yeah, they have to expand detention facilities in order to.
They have to, because actual deportation.
You can't do it.
Not plausible. You have to put people in camps, and that's what they're going to do. 100%. And I spoke with retired Major General Randy Manor, who has an incredibly impressive resume of positions he held while he was a 2-star general in the United States Army. And he stated he was going. I asked him during our interview, "Hey, President Trump is talking about using the military as this mass deportation. Like, how plausible or feasible is that?" And he said, to use the National Guard. Well, I was talking, but he said to use the National Guard, there's a very low requirement. All you need is a governor who's willing to give their troops to the president, and boom, National Guard.
I read about that.
There's a much higher bar of like. What's the word I'm looking for? Like higher standard to be able to use federal troops, which declaring a national emergency would do that, and Donald Trump has alluded to doing that.
Exactly.
So are we a third world country now where we just prance our troops around our street? Is that what we're going to be?
Well, we hope that's what we're advocating against.
All right, because it doesn't sound like he's advocating.
Wait, are you a Trump supporter?
Fuck no.
Okay, yeah. What do you mean it doesn't sound like he's advocating it? That's literally what we're talking about. That's problematic.
I came in at the last time. I apologize.
Yeah. We're 100% explaining how problematic that is and unprecedented and wild it would be. But problematic. The issue is Trump supporters will say, you don't know he's going to do that. This is the thing they'll say to me now. Like, you don't know that he's going to do that. It's like, first of all, and this is part of the reason like the ACLU has filed suit already, because they want clarity on how you're actually planning on doing this because of the constitutional consequences. Also, how taxpayer dollars are going to be spent. We're talking these are these same people that have been complaining about Ukraine, which actually pertains to national security and is actually about protecting the United States for decades to come, right? The health of NATO and how that affects the health of the United States, are now saying it's justified to use $330 billion annually to deport people who are literally not doing anything, not committing crime anywhere near.
Well, they are doing something. They are doing something. They're contributing to our economy.
Right. That's what I was trying to explain. Thanks for coming up. Appreciate it. So, that's kind of what I'm trying to explain here, is that they're actually stimulating the economy, contributing $90 billion to our tax system, much of which into federal programs we don't receive the benefit of. And yet Republicans are okay spending $88 billion per 1 million people Deporting 1 million people will cost $88 billion, $330 billion annually to deport these people, and Republicans don't give a shit about the tax dollars in this circumstance.
Yep.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Exactly.
Man, I got to
That
bounce,
makes
guys. I got an appointment. I got to bounce.
Later, man. Take care.
See you guys.
Later, Matt.
Donald, what's going on?
Hey, not much, man.
What do you think about the deportation program?
I'd say go ask President Obama. He's the expert at deporting people.
But Donald Trump says he's going to
over an 8-year period.
Donald
Over
Trump
an 8-year period, using existing systems and already set aside money in programs, not a mass deportation that begins on day one, using the military, overriding existing systems, creating new offices to make this possible, building camps to put people in. Like, this is not even the same thing. You're comparing apples to fucking coconut trees.
Chat real quick. I'd appreciate everybody tap the screen, share the live, quick commercial break, contribute to the gifting goal. All those things help push us onto the FYP. If you guys would like to support the live, you can on Venmo. My Venmo's Adam Cray Politics. My Cash App's Adam Cray, but I'd appreciate at least tapping and sharing if you can't do that. Listen, Donald Trump says he's going to conduct the largest, he's been clear about that, the largest deportation operation in the history of our country.
And he keeps using the number 30 million, by the way, which that number doesn't even exist. So to hit this magical number, you're going to have to deport people that shouldn't be deported, infringe upon American rights, racially profile, put the military and the police in the street, temporarily suspend the Constitution under a national emergency that doesn't exist. I mean, dude, this.
Which, I mean, you can't even really this is so fucked. I mean, you can't. How can you do that? I mean, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
Do you care about your constitutional rights, Donald? Let me ask you a question. Do you care about your constitutional rights, Donald? Like, how much do you value? Of course I do. What?
Of course I do.
Okay, and what are some rights that are important to you?
Second Amendment, no doubt.
Shocker, the Second Amendment. Okay. So what about your Fourth Amendment? Is your Fourth Amendment as important to you as your Second Amendment? He's Googling what his Fourth Amendment is right now. Donald, can you unmute, please? I'm not interested in waiting until Google answers. Just say I don't know so we can move on.
No, my bad. I was just...
you know your Fourth Amendment, Donald.
Isn't it the search and seizure?
Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, great. Please don't do the Google game. Like, just say you don't know. And
I'm not, dude.
So yes, it's unreasonable search and seizure. So can you explain to me just how you would successfully conduct the largest deportation operation, right? Any undocumented immigrant is being removed. How do you successfully do that?
There is nobody on planet Earth than the legal immigrants that came into this country that would want these suckers out of here. So I would say hire the legal immigrants, all right? Conduct a massive job career, you know what I mean? Place.
No,
and
we don't know what you mean. What if your parents were illegal but you were born here? Should you say your parents get kicked out?
Yeah. Well, these people, the first thing they did.
No, I just want to know where. Just tell me where we're drawing the line.
I don't want to hear these people on their first act of having anything to do with America. The first thing they did was break the law by entering the country illegally.
Listen, I'm trying to make a point.
Jolly. That's funny. These guys always plead to Donald. Shut up. So it's funny how these guys always plead to legality. Jolly, they voted for a fucking felon.
Literally.
Donald, first thing they did was broke the law, and they voted for a felon.
The whole fucking thing was a witch hunt, which we're seeing right before our eyes. All those fraudulent cases against Trump.
Donald, I'm asking you to.
Sorry, guys.
Donald, listen. I'm talking logistics. Listen to me. If let's say you're here, you were born in America, but your parents came here illegally. Should you stay and your parents go, or should you both be kicked out? I want to know what your thoughts are.
It depends. So, there are many American citizens that were born here. Those are named, they're called anchor babies.
So like white people.
They have they have
Hang on, so
nothing
Donald,
to do with America.
So every white person here, right? Hang on. I want to clarify. So every white person here is an anchor baby.
No, anchor babies.
Well, all the white people came here illegally. Did they apply for visas? Did they get vetted? Did they have to pass the citizenship test, or they just fucking pull up?
Yes, they did actually.
No, they didn't.
Really?
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did.
No, they didn't.
In the
you anchor
21st
baby.
century, they sure as shit did.
No, they didn't. You anchor baby. Listen to me. So I'm asking you: should you, as an anchor baby, be able to stay here, or what? Or is it just non-white people? Like, how are you figuring it out?
Well, how is a person that was born in the United States that had never lived in the United States, has nothing to do with America, or know the culture of his own country, or any
this dude's such a
presidents
fucking
for that
boss.
matter? Okay, how are those people qualified to become president of the United States?
I'm going to be honest. His question.
How is that?
Yeah.
You guys answer me
Where
that
do you
one.
live, Donald? Where do you live?
Vegas.
You live in Vegas?
Yes.
By the way, guys, do you see his bio says, "In God we trust"? He's fucking talking about deporting people and shit.
Yeah. You know, Jesus was an open border socialist, right?
Yeah. How Christian of you, dude. You want to just fucking deport people?
No, you get the fuck out of this country. You came in here illegally.
Wow, how Christian of you.
Okay, what did Jesus?
The legal immigrants that came in here with their blood
what if
and sweat
Jesus
and
came?
money?
What if Jesus
and
came?
Why does
America
it
right
sound
now?
like you're talking through a fucking karaoke machine? Shut up.
Donald, what if Jesus
damn.
came here right now? Donald, listen. If Jesus came here right now, if Jesus came here right now, would you deport him?
Jesus is everywhere.
No,
You can't deport him.
Jesus was born in
wouldn't be able
Palestine.
to.
Jesus was an illegal immigrant anchor baby born in Palestine. If he came to America,
would
listen. Yes, his parents fled as refugees.
That's
They had a child in a foreign
You're
country.
literally talking about
That's
Jesus.
an anchor.
Can you
Jesus is an anchor baby.
use a different
So
example?
listen. If Jesus came here right now,
Jesus is here in Palestine and everywhere, bro.
if
Stop.
Jesus came back right now,
Stop
would you
using
deport
the
him?
Lord's name
Donald,
in
be
vain, please.
quiet.
Would you deport the
I'm not going to answer
Palestinian
Well,
born?
put a sock in your mouth then.
Would you deport the Palestinian-born anchor baby refugee baby Jesus if he came to America right now? It's an easy question.
Guy sounds like he's talking through a 1997 karaoke machine. It's fucking, to God, it's like needles in your ear.
Fucking Jesus.
In facts, is that why?
No, you haven't said a factual thing yet.
Because I'm saying facts.
All I know is I would hire President Obama.
Come on, Donald. I got to go
that
here in
board.
2 minutes, Donald. Give me your answer.
Obama would definitely have a pretty solid plan on how to deport everybody. He's got 3 million people deported
It's
under
not
his...
nearly the same thing. I remember it when I cared. I'm just so tired of it.
Chief, Mr. President Obama.
All right, Donald, real quick. I love you, man. Let's do this before you go, right? Hold on. This is really good, Donald, really. Like, I know you do this a lot in church.
Don't forget, Jesus
I want everyone to join in. This is perfect for this conversation. It's a very Christian, loving conversation, right? Let's all join in together. Come on, Donald. Let's do this as we're talking about deporting people, as we're talking about violating people's human rights and constitutional rights. God praise us. As we say, they don't effing belong here.
Our God was an anchor, baby.
Praise God.
Was an anchor, baby. Was an anchor, baby. Our God was an anchor, baby.
God is an awesome
anchor, baby.
Our God
is an anchor, baby. Our God was an illegal immigrant.
I mean, do you see the hypocrisy, Donald?
You
Like,
fuckers.
seriously.
If you were somewhere in like the Middle East, they would have fucking hung all of you bitches up.
What? You're now cursing at us?
Amen. Amen, Donald.
Oh, Donald got a strike. Perfect timing. And so Oh, the irony. Oh, the irony.
Was a refugee anchor.
I mean, seriously, they get out of church, and then as soon as they get out of church, they start using like.
Well, first thing to do, keep in mind, Adam, as soon as they get out of church, the very first thing to do is go to Olive Garden and treat the fucking server like shit. That's the first thing to do. The second thing they do is leave a shit tip, the worst fucking tip.
And then they log on. Wait a second, he's live.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go in there and drop a slur. That's their life. I'm gonna go eat lunch, man. Take care.
Later, dude.
Later. Guys, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. If you guys would like to join the public Discord, it's in the link tree in my bio. You can follow me on Instagram and YouTube. I put content on those platforms too. I might be on later today. Don't know. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I was going to restart again, but I'm just going to go eat lunch now. All right. Love you guys. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Take care. See you in the public Discord. It's in the link tree in my bio. It's also in my Instagram bio. If you can't get in through the Linktree bio, go to my Instagram bio. I put the public Discord in there as well, so you can pop through that way. Take care, everyone. Have a wonderful day. I have to go. I'll be back later, maybe. He's up here giggling.
Okay, and who
Listen,
cares?
Gabe,
Okay, guess what? Trump
Gabe,
still
let me say
won
this
with
the
all
nicest
your
way.
knowledge.
Gabe, there's a lot to giggle about, but it's nothing that you're actually currently. Listen, Gabe, there's a lot to giggle about, but it's nothing that you're currently giggling about. But there's a lot to giggle about. Understand that. There is a lot to fucking giggle about. And then pretty soon, there will be nothing to laugh about. Well, listen, it's just typical MAGA, dude. Listen, should any of us be shocked that MAGA thinks that they've won? Like, should we be shocked that MAGA's acting this way or that we lost the election? No, these people are everywhere. These people are everywhere. Oh my God, yeah, the left really cares about Merry Christmas. Iron, go ahead. Are you a Trump
so what are you
supporter?
whining about tonight?
Well, I wasn't whining. I was just stating that I was talking about Donald Trump's cases being dropped.
Seems like everybody that voted for Kamala, all they're doing is whining.
Yeah, that's not what's happening. So we were just talking about Donald Trump's cases being dropped.
Good. They should be.
Do you know why they were dropped?
No, I don't, but I agree that if they were dropped, I agree that it's a good thing they did get dropped. So,
wow, that's profound.
What's your point?
No, there is no point. I was just stating for the MAGA supporters that thought they were dropped because of lack of evidence that they weren't dropped because of lack of evidence. They were dropped because it's Department of Justice policy to not prosecute a president, right? So it has nothing to do with the evidence. Jack Smith laid out in terms of the insurrection, the obstruction of official proceeding and conspiracy to defraud the United States case. Jack Smith laid out in that 165-page brief that he could successfully prosecute that case, that Donald Trump worked in a private capacity as a citizen of the United States and used criminal conduct to try and get elected rather than official conduct as the president of the United States, right? And the documents case had an overwhelming amount of evidence. I mean, an affidavit, you had eyewitness testimony, recording, security camera footage. You have so much evidence, it's not even funny. That case could have easily been prosecuted.
And I'm glad Walz and Harris.
Documents case.
I'm glad Walz and Harris didn't make it into the presidency, because Walz is nothing but a fucking idiot.
Why do you say that?
Why do I say that? Because I live in Minnesota, which he's a governor of, and he watched the entire city of fucking Minneapolis burn, stating that protesters need the right to express themselves, and he's got the power to call in the National Guard, and he didn't.
Not
he's
true.
A fucking idiot.
He did call in the National Guard. What you just said is not true. So have you ever heard the phone call of Donald Trump quite literally? Have you ever heard the phone call of Donald Trump quite literally congratulating Governor Walz for his efforts and doing an excellent job calling in the National Guard in time? Here, I'll play it for you.
He didn't call in the National Guard in time.
Hold on, I'll play it for you. Just wait one second.
He watched the entire city.
Iron Butterfly, please hold on a second. I'm going to play it for you. No problem. We don't have to dispute it. Right? We don't have to have a back and forth about it. We can just play it. Right? That's how easy it is.
He's an idiot and he didn't serve his country either.
Muppet. Stop
it. Wow. Wow, I cannot believe Joe Biden's.
It's absolutely perfect.
All you're doing is trying to twist it to make it so that you're right and everybody else is wrong.
I just want you. I don't think you've ever heard it. I honestly don't. I don't think you've ever heard it.
I want you to listen to what Laura Trump.
I know you haven't heard it.
Holy cow! Trump an hour ago. Oh my God! You have draft dodging weirdo Donald Trump and his campaign released a statement about Vice President Harris choosing Tim Walz as a running mate, and it's the most thing you've ever seen in your life.
And embracing policies to allow.
Walz is just a cool guy.
He's an idiot and he didn't serve his country. He dodged it to go run as a governor.
Republicans have been using Tim Walz's response to the George Floyd protests in Minnesota as their main criticism of him. But it turns out that Trump... By the way, this is my favorite creator talking, by the way. With his handling of the George Floyd riots. And we've got the proof from the mouth of Donald Trump himself.
Walz is on the phone and we spoke. And I fully agree with the way he handled it the last couple of days. I asked him to do that, and the whole world was laughing. 3 days later, I spoke to the governor. The governor's, I think, on the call, and he's an excellent guy. You've got a big National Guard out there that's ready to come in and fight like hell.
Plus he wanted to defund the police department.
Stop talking! God, as soon as they know that they're losing, they start yapping over the recording. Don't speak. God damn.
I'll speak if I want to. It's a free country. I can speak if I want to.
I'll reach over and
you're live or not.
All right. You're silenced. All right? You're silenced. Iron mental piece.
I think on the call, he's an excellent guy. You've got a big National Guard out there that's ready to come in and fight like hell. I tell you, what they did in Minneapolis was incredible. They went in and dominated. And it happened immediately. Tim is on the phone now. Tim Walz, again, I was very happy with the last couple of days, Tim. You called up big numbers and the big numbers.
Hear that, everybody? I was very happy with your response. Hear it, everybody?
Our city is grieving and in pain. And I would just say, as far as the on the phone now, Tim Walz. Again, I was very happy with the last couple of days, Tim. You called up.
I was very happy with the last couple of days. So there's right from Trump's mouth saying, I was very happy with the response. So Trump disagrees with you. What now?
I call it as I see it. Walz didn't do his job. He's a fucking idiot.
What's the matter? Nothing to say? Guys, we have a subwave going on right now. I'd appreciate completing the subwave, tapping the screen, sharing the live. These are the things that help get us onto the FYP. MAGA does everything they can. MAGA does everything they can to drown out my voice. MAGA does everything they can to drown out my voice, everybody. So it's important that you support, tap the screen, contribute to the gifting goal, subscribe, push back against these Muppets. This guy doesn't have a response. I just played a recording of the guy you voted for saying that he loved his response. So was his response good or not?
Walz didn't do his job. That's where I stand.
Wait, why is your, who's that, your wife? We heard your wife. Who was giving you answers in the background? We hear someone talking to you. Who was that?
There was nobody giving me answers in the background.
We heard someone in the background. Who's with you?
My buddy, my roommate, and he wasn't giving me any fucking answers. You goddamn moron.
Bring him over. Bring him over. Bring your roommate over. Bring your roommate over.
Figures you
All
were
right,
giving me
so
answers.
you guys. So hold on. I get interested. It's not nothing about politics. We can maybe find some common ground here. I always find it interesting to get a little peek into people's lives. So do you guys ever stay up late and play video games together?
No. He got his
Have
own
you ever
life and I
gotten up
got
in the,
mine.
Have you ever gotten up in the middle of the night and gotten a midnight snack together and watched a movie?
There's my video game right there.
You're a fucking idiot, you damn muppet. Like
No,
you
I'm
call
asking
everybody
a
else.
question, Iron. I'm
And I
asking a question.
answered
Do you
you if
guys
you
ever?
clean the shit out of your ears, you fucking moron.
So do you guys ever get up in the middle of the night and do like cool shit?
No. He
Oh,
lives
let's
his
see.
own life and I live mine. So there.
So you guys, so you're both just sitting in the living room right now, and you're on TikTok, and he's like playing video games.
No, we don't rot
Even
our
he's
brains
laughing.
with video
Even
games.
he's like, "What are we doing?"
We don't rot our
married?
brains with fucking video games.
Are either of you married? Are either of you married?
Yeah, we are.
Okay, so you and your wives live in this place, and so you guys have never thought about like having a family night.
We don't play video games because it doesn't make sense
I'm
to
not
rot our
saying
brains
video
on.
games. Maybe we cook a crock pot meal together. You know, and then we sit down with, we watch TV and we cook a crock pot meal.
We do things like that. We sit and visit, and
that sounds great. You know what I mean?
Would you
let me come over? Would you let me come over and like hang out with you guys?
No.
Why not?
Because you're an idiot and you're disrespectful and you cry and whine because your person didn't win. That's all you've been doing since she lost.
Okay, I cried. When did I cry? Tell me about the day I cried. When was that?
You're not physically crying tears. You're fucking whining and crying.
Oh, so I'm not crying then. Guys, I'd appreciate completing the subwave. We have 7 minutes left in the subway. So you're telling me I wasn't crying then. Was I crying or was I not crying?
You're verbally crying and being a fucking town whiner.
I'm verbally crying. Okay, explain verbally crying. How do you verbally cry?
Well, if you don't know, then I'm not going to tell you because you think you know everything.
I'm trying to learn, right? Don't you want to pass it off to the younger generation so then we can also behave this way?
No, you should already know how to behave. I'm sorry, but
now I hear someone crying in the background. Who's crying in the background? Is that your roommate?
No, it's a dog, dumbass. Can't you tell the difference?
Aaron, thank you for the 10 gifted. Katie, thank you for the 2 gifted. Appreciate you. Was that your roommate crying in the background now?
Can't you tell the difference between a dog and a human, you dumbass?
No, I can't tell the difference between the dog and your roommate. No, I can't.
Well, then
listen, Iron. Why are you insulting me so much? Like, I'm trying to have a political conversation with you, and you're being so insulting. Can you stop being insulting? Like,
you're being
I get
ignorant.
that. Like,
there's a dog in the background.
how am I being ignorant by? How am I being ignorant by proving you wrong? You literally made a statement that his handling of those protests was poor. I provided you a phone call of Donald Trump, quite literally complimenting Governor Walz's handling of the protests. You don't have anything to say, so you started insulting me. You expected that you would be able to come on here and push some garbage misinformation, and I wouldn't have a response. Of course, I do, right? And I played the recording, and it debunked what you said.
Did Walz serve in the military? No.
Yes, he did.
No, he did.
There's probably kids who are watching you right now, and they're probably, you're trying to convince them this is actually Trump, and you're
Well,
trying
excuse
to make him
me,
say
excuse
bad
me.
things.
You might have
You're trying to
seen
make
me.
him say bad things.
Excuse me, Musk. Muskie. Muskie boy. Muskie Rusky. Hold on a second.
Yeah, see,
did
now
you see?
yeah,
Excuse
you
me.
guys are horrible.
Did you see me give the blowjob to the microphone in front of the children? Because I did that very well.
Yeah, see, and if there's kids in this live, they're going to hear you say that.
I gave it so. People are saying. People are saying that I did a great
If there's
job.
kids in this live right now, yeah, they just heard you say that. You guys are the party of creeps. And
Excuse me. Excuse me. I was the one who hung out with Epstein. Okay, this guy, tremendous guy, great friend of
you
mine.
hung out with him? Yeah, I know you did.
Yeah, and then we did things to him. We put him in the prison. We put him in prison, and we had them take him out. We had them take him out because they were going to put the black book about me, and we love black people, but they were going to do the black book, and it had me in it, quite frankly. So we had to take care of it. Don't you worry.
Listen, Musk, let me ask you a question, dude.
And you try to make it.
Wait, hold on. You're not seriously talking about negative influence on kids, are you?
You guys are the ones who are shoving everything down these kids' throats and
talking about shoving it down my throat. Quite frankly, this guy tremendously. He just got tremendously booted from the live because he's spreading dangerous misinformation about my autocracy. But quite
listen. That's seriously. That's what Republicans say all the time. They say it all the time, guys. The children, right? We got to look out for the children. Meanwhile, Trump is like, with a microphone on stage and knows what he's doing, right? Although I believe that was to take away attention from the statement that Johnson made about repealing the CHIPS Act days after he talked about repealing the ACA, but that's besides the point.
Bro,
seriously,
I know I had to come up though because I'm sorry, my mic's getting a little high, but the thing is, I had to come up because this guy was just. When he said that Musk was going to be president, I was like, oh, fuck, I got a request. Just got a request.
You forgot, you can't do that.
I just got a request. And honestly, I think he thought he was talking to Trump for a second. I think it spooked him because he
wasn't sure.
He said, who is this? In a way that was like, wait, how is this? How is this?
They're literally that simple. He wasn't even sure. He was his little brain was thinking, could it be possible that Trump just joined? He wasn't sure. It was turning, and he's like,
you could hear it.
At one point he said, "This isn't even Trump."
He had to convince himself, "You're not my real dad."
That's what made it even better.
Oh, God help us all.
Yeah, we are.
We're royally fucked.
Seriously, we're in huge trouble. But look, we hope that his incompetence, their incompetence. Part of the thing with the cabinet picks and people are panicking. These people are so incompetent and they're not liked. RFK is not respected. You know what I mean? Matt Gaetz, although he dropped down from that position, the AG pick. He's not respected, Hegseth. These people aren't respected. I don't know how they plan on actually getting things done. You know what I mean? They're not respected.
They don't want to.
Don't. That's what I'm saying. So I'm thinking that potentially their incompetence and their unwilling, their inability to see that they actually could do things that would, seriously set this country up for, nothing but conservatism for the next however many years. I'm not sure they actually understand. I don't know that they're smart enough to take advantage of the next 4 years to its fullest.
I don't know if they're smarter than a fifth grader either.
They're not. I said it before. I'm fine with saying Trump supporters are dumb. They are. I'm one of these people. I'm not getting on the ship of having conversations with Trump supporters, but why did you? We got to start considering their feelings. No, this is an issue. Look, anyone that tells you there's one reason why we lost, it doesn't know what they're talking about. There's a bunch of different reasons, right? But what we know is ultimately, I think a lot of it comes down to social media. Republicans are really effective on social media. They pay smaller influencers. We've seen this, right? 9 of the 10 podcasts that had the highest ratings during the election were Republican. The only one that wasn't was Hassan, who doesn't even like Harris. So we don't have a presence. People like you and me, people like other creators that are not necessarily so far left that you don't support the Democratic nominee, but can work with liberals to try and get people elected, right? And I consider myself a leftist, but I have no problem working with Democrats to win elections. We don't have a presence, and that's just a fact. We do not have a presence on social media. We got our ass kicked on social media, and I think a lot of it comes down to that. They have Twitter, and they dominate social media, live streams, podcasts, those types of things.
That's what I was thinking. I was thinking back to 2012, and I was really thinking about how Obama kind of had social media. He had Twitter, right? When the whole debate happened with the horses, remember, he said, you know what we also don't do? We don't deliver mail on horses anymore. And he talked about like Russia wanting the Cold War back or something like that. There were a couple lines that he had, but and the binder's full of women and the Big Bird stuff. I mean, that was all
what
over.
year are you talking about?
2012.
You're talking about
it was all over social media, and it benefited Obama, and obviously in a positive way, because there was a lot of that presence on Twitter, right? But now, because it's just completely run by Musk, and what I would say to this is that, we were handicapped. So like we were, and I say that for educational purposes. I don't want to. So like our tweets were not shown to the masses. So like they were purposely depressed. Yes, that's the word I'm looking for. Sorry. But they were purposely, pushed down, and that's the election interference that Elon Musk created. And what I would suggest to everybody listening in your chat, if you haven't already done it, I'm sure you know, Blue Sky is where everybody is going, and Blue Sky right now is kind of our only option to really crater Twitter, right?
And let me say this, just so everyone knows. I have not really advertised this. Only about 1,000 people have followed me so far. Go follow me on Blue Sky. It's in the link tree in my bio. Go follow me. I am on there. I haven't advertised it because I'm not like fully convinced that's going to be the place. I'm not, but I'm on there. It's there. So
I think I followed you. Mine is Greg Z House on Blue Sky, but I mean that's kind of.
Well, let me follow you back. I'll follow you.
Yeah, I mean I may have. I think I did, but the point is that
now I'm gonna find out you didn't actually follow me.
No, I mean I'm gonna follow you back, but even if I didn't, but I'm almost certain that I did. Did I?
I don't even wait. And this whole Sky thing, I don't fucking understand. Where what are you? I don't even.
So it's Greg Z.
What?
Greg Z House.
Why don't you just make it Z? But why do you have to always complicate shit?
Well, I mean,
no. This name's not coming up.
Oh, maybe
you did follow me. All right, I followed you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go follow me on there. I'm trying to. I mean, I'm not really. I don't care. But
I think that that's our way to kind of get out of this like mess, right? I mean, I was having this conversation. If you remember, Vine was a beautiful app for a long time. It was a 6-second video. It was tremendous. And then Snapchat comes out, and they're like, "Oh, we can do the same thing." And then all of a sudden, Vine's gone. Then Snapchat comes out with the story thing. Then Instagram was like, "Oh shit, we better get this going." Now, of course, they're Meta. So, like, the thing is, it can, if it's enough of an impact, it can definitely impact it. The problem is that when you have people like Musk, though, he could do something like buy the app, or he could buy MSNBC. He has that ability. So we need people like Mark Cuban on our side to buy MSNBC or do something. We need our billionaires to do something.
Here's what I'm going to say. Regardless of who buys apps, It is up to you, the millions of people who understand that Donald Trump and the Republican Party is dangerous. By the way, I say Republican Party, conservatism is dangerous. It's fascist light. It is up to you to push voices like mine. You don't have to choose me. You can choose other creators you like more than me. I don't really give a shit at this point. We're fucked. So I really don't care if it's me. But pick your favorite left-wing creator and push and support the shit out of them. Make their voices as loud as you possibly can. Pick a competent left-wing creator that you've seen has had success, whether it's debating or talking politics, giving good takes, doing the things that you like, and push the shit out of them. It is important that we compete with the Charlie Kirks. It's important that we compete with the Ben Shapiros and these types of people, because if we don't, we're gonna have a hard time winning elections in the future. Charlie Kirk is an absolute moron. I mean, straight up. Like, the guy is actually dumb. And all he does is fucking debate college kids. Listen, I could steamroll 400 college kids in a row on politics. If I just sat up there and just said, okay, let's talk politics, and I had a topic or said pick a topic, I would steamroll. I could steamroll hundreds of, because they don't do it for a fucking living, right? When you talk about politics every day, you can steamroll people who don't do politics every day. It's easy, cake, right? It's not hard to do, okay? College kids don't, generally speaking, know what they're talking about politically anyway, okay? They're just college kids. They're learning, right? So it's not hard to do that. So Charlie Kirk gets up there and acts like he's a fucking genius by asking a college kid what fascism means. And then the college kid can't answer it. Oh, I don't know. And then that clip goes viral. It's stupid. It's literally stupid. But this is social media. The meme is the new political bumper sticker. I talked about this after the election. The meme is the new political bumper sticker. Short, simplistic,
Come tax,
clear, concise messaging is what's going to win elections, right? Part of the thing that frustrates me is Democrats do not understand simplistic messaging. They're arrogant. Democrats are arrogant. They believe that the general voting population understands that inflation is not Biden's fault, right? The average voter doesn't understand economics. They do not understand what inflation even does, why most voters believe correlation equals causation. These things need to be simplified, and they need to be put in a clear and concise message on social media, and we need to be able to perpetuate that message effectively. Republicans have figured out how to do that. Now, it's easier for them because they're lying, right? They can lie, right? Republicans lie, they fearmonger, they spread misinformation and propaganda. They're complete fucking lying, disingenuous tools. But regardless, they're lying. Right? So it's easier. Now, it's a little bit more difficult when you're telling the truth. But all I'm encouraging Democrats to do is start to simplify what you're saying, right? Stop expecting that the average voter understands that inflation is not the fault of Joe Biden, or understanding that inflation is a global issue, right? Or understanding that, what its supply and demand is, right? Republicans had simplistic messaging during this election. I saw Trump low prices, Harris high prices. And you would think, wow, that's stupid. But that's it. It worked. It worked. It was effective. It worked.
Yep. And I mean, it's no surprise, like you said, because most of the people that are voting don't understand anything, and they have to, they don't even know what a tariff is. They don't know what people who pay the tariff are us.
What are the top Google searches right now? Go ahead. Do you know them?
Do we pay tariffs? Can I change my vote?
I change my vote.
Yeah, and then why was Joe Biden not on the ballot? Why couldn't I vote for Joe Biden? I think that was one of them.
We are over, but we're over. We're thinking that we're expecting that voters are smarter than they are, and it's not necessarily because they're dumb in all cases. MAGA is straight up dumb. All right, I'll say that with my whole chest. I'll go down saying that MAGA is dumb. Okay, but voters, generally speaking, it doesn't mean they're dumb. It's just people are living their life. They're out working their job. Things are expensive. They're taking care of their family, right? They're at their kid's soccer game. They're doing different things that aren't necessarily political, right? I don't necessarily think it's amazing that I can talk to an average voter and make them look stupid. I like making MAGA look stupid, but the average voter, someone who doesn't really understand, I try and be more sympathetic with those people. I try and understand where they're coming from. As long as they're not a MAGA person, I try and understand. You'll see how I treat them differently. From what I see, and I talk to a lot of voters, a lot of people are just not interested in politics because of the amount of negativity, right? Republicans have created an environment that is just negative politically, right? And people have turned away from politics. They're not interested in hearing because it's just so damn dark and negative. What can we do to bring those people back in and help them understand that that was deliberate, right? And simplify the message to help them understand that Democrats are truthfully on their side and that Republicans are not. That's the question. I don't know that I have the answer, but that is the question.
I think, unfortunately, time will tell that story, because as Donald Trump's policies that he's going to implement, his tariffs and things like that, start to impact people, I do think that there will be. I'm optimistic. Maybe I haven't. Some people have like I've almost given up, but like I feel like there's a part of me that goes, you know what? When
you never give up.
No. That's not what I mean though. Like they're just down on their luck. Like just like this sucks. I'm gonna go in a hole. The thing is, the thing is, I think that once these policies start getting implemented and once people start to see how they impact their everyday life, then I really do believe that people will understand the ramifications. And that's how elections shift. That's what happens like in 2 years, right? When there's the midterms and you have the House and the Senate races, that's when the things will change, because then they'll be like, this is a fucking disaster. And I get that, you know, that's just 2 years, but that's the goal right now. That's like, we have.
But based off this presidency being as successful it was in terms of legislation, it being a one-term presidency is an utter failure. They should have won this election.
Well, they should have. They should have. And there's a lot of things that we can play Monday morning quarterback about. I mean, I personally think that.
Well, I just want to say, Z-Pack, I'm not playing Monday.
No.
I've been I'm not saying you. I'm just saying, generally speaking, I've been screaming about. Everyone who watches me knows I've been screaming about this shit for a long time. Democrats are pathetic. I don't care what anyone says. Democrats suck at messaging. They don't get it. All these things you're saying are true, but do Democrats understand? That's the problem.
I think that, again, what happened was there was a combination of problems. You had, you know, Democratic leadership that essentially just said, we're going to let his own ego, because he had a pretty good midterm performance, to be fair. I mean, he did. It was better than expected. So he was like, you know what? You guys can chirp all you want, but I'm going to run again. And that's just how this is going to work. And I think that had he stepped down from after the midterms, even in 2023, right? He said, look, we had a good midterm performance, but I'm going to open the table up to a new primary. I think that's when you get into good, you know, graces. And unfortunately, I think a woman on the ticket was the reason why that this election was lost. I don't think it really had anything to do with anything other than that. I think that
Did you freeze? Can you guys hear me? Yeah, you froze. Let me just say something. So,
are you frozen?
Here's where I have to disagree with you. That is a major part of it, Z-Pack. You're correct. But the problem with that, okay.
Well, thanks for the gifts. If I did freeze, I appreciate the gifts.
Let me explain this, right? And it's very important that everyone hears what I'm saying here. When we dismiss this as only the patriarchy or only misogyny, Democrats don't get held accountable. We have to make sure that Democrats understand that they did not do a good enough job to win this election. Now, again, are we correct? Yes, there are deep systemic issues in this country. Democrats still fucked up. Yeah, he's lagging. He's probably going to restart. Democrats, there are deep-rooted systemic issues in this country with white supremacy and with the patriarchy, right? We have deep-rooted issues.